like that, yeah, and it's like that. Flexing, flexing, flexing.
Grizzly going crazy, nigga.
Roller coaster motor at the stoplight, catch me at the finish line flexing. Following the kid like a spotlight, why you keep asking same questions? Roller coaster motor at the stoplight, catch me at the finish line flexing. Following the kid like a spotlight, why you keep asking same questions? I remember going to school, never had the latest shoes. You was raised to make it cool, I was raised to make a move. We was playing with different bags, so I kept getting shitted on. It was motivation, telling myself stay patient. Package touchdown, gotta relocate it. If that body got took down, guess it was donated. Plug ain't from round town, but we both native. Yeah, sliding with my body, I got a Joe waiting. Can't let these hoes spend the night, ain't got no home training. Heard your damn mixtape, gave it a low rating. Yeah, streets reply, I look right in a Mercedes. Creep at night, the city lights going brave. She popping it like that is meant for, can't be no road and extendo. Bitch, I put me in the friend zone till she see me in the end zone. Hoes calling from other zip codes, trapping hard, I need a flip on this, the new pack, the last one been gone. Roller coaster motor at the stoplight, catch me at the finish line flexing. Following the kid like a spotlight, why you keep asking same questions? Roller coaster motor at the stoplight, catch me at the finish line flexing. Following the kid like a spotlight, why you keep asking same questions? Stepping out cool, rock and roll my watch and shoes. They scream wave, ain't bring a pool. Mainstream thing to scream my moves. Jack hit me up like gotta leave round 2. Know what's going on, man, you need it come through. I'm the neighborhood superintendent. Dogs in the den, got the kush in the kitchen. Look here, baby, I'm on real time. Needle in a haystack, but still shine. Wave guard, grill gold like a face guard. I did a bid and tell them wait for it. Grill gold like a face guard. I did a bid and tell them wait for it. Roller coaster motor at the stoplight, catch me at the finish line flexing. Following the kid like a spotlight, why you keep asking same questions? Roller coaster motor at the
Go out the way just to help my position.
Out this world
Go out the way just to help my position. When I was broke, I just knew I would get it. That hate shit you want ain't no good for my spirit. It is what it is, I got tired of forgiving. Mouth full of ghost crackers smiling and glisten. Out with the old, my phone jumping this Wednesday. Knew I was special, just needed to listen. Lift up a latch and detaching the ceiling. Super Dushani, the motherfucking greatest. This my new rental, don't care, I drag racing. In your apartment, I'm popping the latest. Started finessing, so that's how we played it. Stepped envelopes, gotta write out my brothers. No competition, we shine with each other. So many nights had my mind in the gutter. Mama told me like, boy, keep it together. Link with a big booty freak, it's whatever. Bet like a ring, we ain't cutting, we wrestle. Call my connect, need a package of pressure. Mind on my money, you know how I'm stepping. Take your advice, but I really ain't need it. You in my presence, 1K, how you keep it? Act like a star so they don't treat me basic. Bills late, niggas start getting creative. Go out the way just to help my position. When I was broke, I just knew I would get it. That hate shit you want ain't no good for my spirit. It is what it is, I got tired of forgiving. Mouth full of ghost crackers smiling and glisten. Out with the old, my phone jumping this Wednesday. Knew I was special, just needed to listen. Lift up a latch and detaching the ceiling. Super Dushani, the motherfucking greatest. This my new rental, don't care, I drag racing. In your apartment, I'm popping the latest. Started finessing, so that's how we played it. I'm detaching the ceiling. smiling, shining, then glisten. Talking my language, I'm tired of forgiving. Mouth full of ghost crackers, smiling, then glisten. Out with the old, my phone jumping this Wednesday. Go out the way. It's what it is, I got tired of forgiving. It is what it is, I get it in a minute. I'll call you back in a minute. Too busy chasing blue Benji. I'll get back in a minute. Too busy. Yeah, it's the weekend. We about to get to it, man. Y'all already know what's going on. We getting into the information. We getting into this knowledge. We building up our brain. We building our self-confidence. You know what I'm saying?
Trap out the low, package
You know
up
what
off,
I'm saying?
gas make you cough, straight out the soul, grill in my mouth, yo.
Gotta
It ain't my
continue that one.
fault. Cameras active,
Okay.
watching
You
over
know what
my
I'm
house.
saying?
End up in the cloud, trying to chase you
Alright.
some clout. Designer stepping, you can tell how I walk. Don't know no better, yeah. It ain't my fault. I got it off, trapped out the low, package dropped
Got
off.
the link
Gas
off
make
for
you
y'all,
cough,
boys.
straight out the south,
Fine
grill
club.
in my mouth. Yo, no, it ain't my fault. Cameras active, watching over my house. End up in the cloud, trying to chase you some clout. Designer stepping, you can tell how I walk. Don't know no better, yeah. Cancel myself, these niggas some faggots. Changing the reins, hitting with bag. I don't wanna know more. Look goofy, I had it. Say they can't see me, go get them a tablet. What in the hell? Who told you go start painting your nails? Way God dangerous with scales. Bit off a piece, I feel well. Say that you need me, I'm near. Do not be greedy, be fair. That's my dog, that's my jag. Say slime, say slab. Way God, boy, you got cushion, that's sad. On the paper chase, don't ask where I'm at. Got 2 for 15, got 2 for 25. Tryna get up in the mix, better watch it online. She just had something fruit booty emoji. Tryna interrupt this doobie on road. It ain't my fault, I got it off. Trap out the low, package dropped off. Gas make you cough, straight out the salt. Grill in my mouth, yeah. It ain't my fault. Cameras active, watching over my house. End up in the cloud, trying to chase you some clout. Designer stepping, you can tell how I walk. Don't know no better, yeah. It ain't my fault. I got it off, trapped out the low, package dropped off. Gas make you cough, straight out the south. Grill in my mouth, yeah. No, it ain't my fault. Cameras active, watching over my house. End up in the cloud, trying to chase you some clout. Designer stepping, you can tell how I walk. Don't know no better, yeah. Gotta shoot
That I got on right now.
a little bit, way God don't miss. I ain't a misnomer, got cushion the coma. She backed that ass on me and gave me a boner. Know it's gas smell like woo when you light it. Conversation about money, same time, right? Phone jumping like a trampoline. See my watch like damn me. Got the shit on, just make sure your camera's clean. Finding out somebody hating, can't move different. What's in my pocket, them blue bitches? Urban Dale, that be who move with me. It's an old school with a new engine. She got designer heels, talented, tryna find his niche. I'm on the signing list. New slap, we gon' drive the fifth wheel. This what we take off from here. Bodies don't work, they off for real. Way guard, what it costs for real. Stay away from my house for real. It ain't my fault, I got it off. Trap out the low, package dropped off. Gas make you cough, straight out the salt. Grill in my mouth, yeah. It ain't my fault. Cameras was active, watching over my house. End up in the clouds, trying to chase you some clout. Designer stepping, you can tell how I walk. Don't know no better, yeah. It ain't my fault, I got it off. Trapped out the low, package dropped off. Gas make you cough, straight out the south. Grill in my mouth, yeah, no, it ain't my fault. Cameras.
All right. Let's get to some information. Let's get to some goddamn information. All right. So basically, we got this debate tomorrow, and that $20 shirt that I just showed, that's the shirt I got on right now, by the way. Pine Club, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, this debate we got going on tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Are the Berbers before the Eurasians? You got Silky D going up against Yashub again. You know what I'm saying? Silky D trying to get some get back. You know what I'm saying? We definitely in the age of information. Like a Uncle Shaka in here already. Peace, Uncle Shaka. Uncle Shaka in here already. Uncle Shaka say, Shalom, Shalom. Grace and peace be unto the chat and panel. Most High bless. Most High bless, Uncle Shaka. Good hosting last evening. Now, who you say won? Uncle Shaka talking about with Naphtali and Dr. Two Sweet. Man, we already know, man. Dr. Two Sweet is a pit. Dr. Two Sweet is a pit bull, man. Just go back to that question and answering, man. It wasn't fair, man. It wasn't fair. The winner of the debate gets a Pine Club fit. You know, we definitely got to work something out like that, Uncle Shaka. Definitely got to work. But nah, man, I think it wasn't fair, man. I think if you believe in God, it's hard. It's gonna be hard for you to um be unbiased with the science. You know what I'm saying? If you believe in a creator, it's gonna be hard for you to be unbiased with the science. So I think hopefully the evolution versus creationism arguments, hopefully both sides learn. You know what I'm saying? I think that's a great thing to we always gotta learn. But as far as the evolution versus creation, I think, man, if you woke up this morning a Bible believer after watching that debate last night, or if you woke up believing in God after watching that debate last night, I think you should go rewatch Dr. Too Sweet in that debate last night. You know what I'm saying? I think she a pit bull. It's like this. It's like this, guys. You will waste more energy trying to debunk the modern consensus or trying to debunk science. You will waste more energy doing that than to just try to understand it. You will waste way more energy trying to debunk something that's genuinely known as truth than to just try to understand it and get a better grasp of it. You know what I'm saying? So that's the main thing. You know what I'm saying? I remember a year or 2 years ago, I had debated y'all on evolution, and um, this is my first time seeing a debate since then about that. This is my first time seeing a evolution debate since that debate. You know what I'm saying? So I think Dr. Too Sweet is she's definitely real good. You know what I'm saying? That question and answer round was brutal. And peace to Naphtali, but during the whole debate, I don't even think she said the words intelligent design one time. And she was debating intelligent design versus evolution. So during the total debate, I don't think she said intelligent design not one time. So it's basically like she was arguing against evolution but not playing offense. But yeah, man, I think it was man, me and Uncle DMG got it done. You know what I'm saying? That was the best thing about it, is that we got it done. You know what I'm saying?
It got postponed for like 2 hours, but we got it done. That's the great thing about it. You know what I'm saying? You always want to get the shit done. All right. Let me see how I want to go first. Let me see how I want to start this show off. I got 3 specific topics. I got 3 tabs open right now, and I'm gonna let y'all choose what we talk about first. I got 3 tabs open right now, man. I got 3 topics in my head, but I'm gonna let y'all choose what we talk about first. Should we talk about should we talk about 7 of history's most notorious serial killers? Should we talk about 7 of history's most notorious serial killers first? Should we read the David and Goliath story first? Or should we read up on slave rebellions first? Which one should we do first? Y'all put it in the chat. Should we read up on America's most notorious killers? Should we read up the David Goliath story first? Or should we do slave rebellion first? Which topic should I start off with? Y'all let me know. Because we're going to be riding all night, goddammit. Which topic should I start off with? We definitely build up the mind over here. We definitely build up that brain, give ourselves some self-confidence and some self-worth. You know what I'm saying? We ain't playing no games with the information. Ah, damn. Uncle Shaka done threw some goddamn topics in there. He said, is the earth flat or the Tartarians real? So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to drop that link. I'm going to drop that link in the chat so Uncle Shaka could get on here, because I don't know nothing about no damn Tartarian. So I'm gonna drop the link in the chat. I invite you on here, Uncle Shaka. You gotta get up here and break down the damn Tartarian, Uncle Shaka. All right, Uncle Shaka say David and Goliath, or David versus a demigod. This is my whole. I'm about to read up. I'm about to let me share my screen. Let's go over David and Goliath first, because I think I got a better story. I think I got a better understanding of David and Goliath than anybody else do in the world, including your preacher, including your God. I got a better understanding of the David and Goliath story than anybody in the world, and I'm gonna prove it. Let's go to the David and Goliath story, and I'm gonna show y'all what the Bible didn't. The Bible missed some words. The Bible didn't add some words to the David and Goliath story on purpose. So if we look at this David and Goliath story, basically the Bible misinterpreted some things on purpose for the sake of not trying to get a hand away. All right? So they tell you go to 1 Samuel 17, David and Goliath. We don't want to read verse 1 through 3 because that ain't got shit to do with the story. But we're going to keep, that ain't got shit to do with the meat of the story. So we're going to keep going. Now, let me unshare my screen because I got to let y'all know. This is a super wavy revelation. You know what I'm saying? So your preacher ain't gonna tell you this. Your God ain't gonna tell you this. Paul ain't gonna tell you this. Saul ain't gonna tell you this. Super wavy told you this. Your preacher, they don't understand the Bible like I understand the Bible. I understand the Bible because I got a better understanding of it. It's like they try to stack scriptures on top of scriptures. No, nigga, stay still. Stay still. All right, let's go. A champion named Goliath, who was from Gath, came out of the Philistine camp. His height was 6 cubits and a span. All right, so let's see how tall is 6 cubits in a span. Let's see how tall it is. All right, 6 cubits in a span is how tall? God damn. Okay, 6 cubits in feet. Okay, 6 cubits and a span translates to about 9 feet tall. Okay, guys. So they telling us that in the Middle East, it's a damn 9 foot giant, a damn Middle Eastern Arab 9 foot giant. All right. Now we gotta if you got some sort of sense, your pseudo antennas is going off because you hit 9 feet. God damn, they gonna lie that hard. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going. All praise to the Roach God. Yes, sir. All right, so let's get out of there. Let's get back to where we at. Okay. So he was 9 feet tall. He had a bronze helmet on his head and wore a coat of scale armor of bronze weighing 5,000 shekels. On his legs, he wore bronze greaves, and a bronze javelin was slung on his back. His spear shaft was like a weaver's rod, and his iron point weighed 600 shekels. His shield bearer went ahead of him. Goliath stood and shouted to the ranks of Israel, "Why do you come out and line up for battle? Am I not a Philistine? And are you not the servants of Saul? Choose a man and have him come down to me. If he is able to fight and kill me, we will become your subjects. But if I overcome him and kill him, you will become our subjects and serve us." Then the Philistines said, "This day I defy the armies of Israel. Give me a man and let us fight each other." On hearing the Philistines' words, Saul and all the Israelites were dismayed and terrified. Now David was the son of an Ephrathite named Jesse, who was from Bethlehem in Judah. Jesse had 8 sons, and in Saul's time he was very old. Jesse's 3 oldest sons had followed Saul to the war. The firstborn was Eliab, second was Abinadab, and the third Shammah. David was the youngest. The 3 oldest followed Saul, but David went back and forth from Saul to tend his father's sheep at Bethlehem. For 40 days, the Philistines came forward every morning and evening and took his stand. Now Jesse said to his son David, take this ephah of raised grain and these 10 loaves of bread for your brothers and hurry to their camp." Okay, let's fast forward. Early in the morning, David left the flock in the care of the shepherd, loaded up, and set out as Jesse had directed. He reached the camp as an army was going out to its battle position, shouted the war cry. Israel and the Philistines were drawing up their lines facing each other. David left his things with the keeper of supplies, ran to the battle lines, and asked his brothers how they were. As he was talking with them, Goliath, the Philistine champion of Gath, stepped out of his lines and shouted his usual defiance, and David heard it. Whenever the Israelites saw the man, they all fled from him in great fear. Now the Israelites had been saying, "Do you see how this man keeps coming out? He comes out to defy Israel. The king will give great wealth to the man who kills him." So it's a bag. So it's a bag on Goliath's head. The king will give great wealth to the man who kills him. He will also give him his dog. See, the Bible always got to throw in some wild shit. The Bible always got to throw in some wild shit. Niggas say it's a bag on his head And if you kill him, you'll get rich. Not just that, but if you kill him, nigga, the king go give you his daughter, nigga. Nigga, the daughter going to a damn killer, nigga. The daughter going to a giant killer, nigga. These niggas, wow. I'm gonna act like we ain't hit it though. It says, the king will give great wealth to the man who killed Goliath. He will also give him his daughter in marriage and will exempt his family from taxes in Israel. So this is a big deal. So Goliath is like a prime, you know what I'm saying, a prime scratcher. You know what I'm saying? Goliath is like a prime a factor in the community. Goliath is like a triple OG, quadruple OG. Goliath is like like a leader of an organization. Goliath is like King Von. Goliath is like that nigga, the boogeyman. Goliath is the boogeyman. All right, let's keep going. David asked the men standing near him, "What will be done for the man who kills this Philistine and remove this disgrace from Israel? Who is this uncircumcised Philistine that he should defy the armies of the..." Hold up, gang. See, David, hey, see, this how I know. See, you're not about to bleed me. You're not about to bleed me with a story that this nigga David, you know what I'm saying, took down a 9-foot factor. You're not about to get me to believe that. But look at what David says right here, though. Look at what David says right here. Let me share my screen one more time. Look at what David say right here. Who is this uncircumcised Philistine that he should defy the armies of the living God? Why is David calling Goliath uncircumcised? First the king is doing the what is that called when you put money on somebody's head? Murder for hire. The king is doing murder for hire, and he giving up his daughter. If you get rid of this Goliath, David come around and calling Goliath uncircumcised. Like when do we say, well, damn, you doing all of this? Like why you can't just tell a story? Why you can't just tell a lie regular? Why you gotta add spaceships to the lie? All right, let's keep going. They repeated to him what they had been saying and told him. This is what will be done for the man who kills him. When Eliab, David's older brother, heard him speaking with the men, he burned with anger at him and asked, "Why have you come down here? And with whom did you leave those few sheep in the wilderness? I know how conceited you are and how wicked your heart is. You came down only to watch the battle." "Now what have I done?" said David. "Can't I even speak?" He then turned away to someone else and brought up the same matter. And the men answered him as before. What David said was overheard and reported to Saul, and Saul sent for him. David said to Saul, "Let no one lose heart on account of this Philistine. Your servant will go and fight him." Saul replied, "You are not able to go out against the Philistine and fight him. You are only a young man, and he has been a warrior from his youth." Now, how old was King Von? How old was King Von? Now, I'm showing you a visualization of how the only way a young nigga can knock down a giant or a big nigga is if he got a thumper, if he got a thuka. If he ain't got no thuka, he is not knocking down no big nigga. I'm showing you, look at David like King Von. The Bible don't tell you, but David had uh 9mm with an extended clip that carried 30. And that's how he killed Goliath. He didn't kill Goliath by throwing no rock. David was a little motherfucker. So how was he gonna knock out Goliath? No, David had a gun. David had a gun. That's the only way a little nigga, a young nigga, is knocking out a big nigga. The Bible don't tell you, you know what I'm saying? It gotta be kid edifying and kid edible. And you gotta be able to teach it everywhere. But the moral of the story is, nigga, David had a motherfucking gun. David ain't had no rock, nigga. David ain't had no bat, nigga. Your little ass can't even hold up a bat. Your little ass can't even hold up a big rock. David had a gun, nigga. All right, let's keep reading. But David said to Saul, your servant has been keeping his father's sheep. When a lion or a bear came and carried off a sheep from the flock, I went after it, struck it, and rescued the sheep from its mouth. When it turned on me, I seized it by its hair, struck it, and killed it. Your servant has killed both the lion and the bear. So David is telling Saul, like, nigga, I got bodies already, nigga. I'm King Von. I got bodies already. Don't try to play me like I'm not ready, nigga. You know my body count. That's what David is telling Saul. Nigga, stop playing with me, nigga. Give me the thuka. Stop playing with me. Raise the window down. That's what David is telling Saul. Raise the window down then. Raise my window down. Because I'm going to hop out. That's what David is telling Saul. Let's keep going. David is saying, nigga, I killed both the lion and the bear. This uncertainty, this is what David confuses me at, though. This is what David is confusing me at. Because David is calling Goliath uncircumcised. Like, what are we, like, nigga, what is the Hebrew for this? Nigga, give me the Hebrew. Why is David keep worried about Goliath John? David, you already talking brolic enough. You already talking gangster enough. You ain't got to keep saying uncircumcised, David. Because now you starting to, come on, David. You can't be, I thought we was gangster. Why are you mentioning that? Let's keep going, though. We're going to act like we ain't see that. This uncircumcised Philistine will be like one of them because he has defied the armies of the living God. The Lord who rescued me from the paw of the lion and the paw of the bear will rescue me from the hand of this Philistine. Saul said to David, go and the Lord be with you. So basically David had told Saul, like, nigga, get out of my way, let my window down. Saul, like, nigga, you a baby. I can't give you the gun. You a baby. David, like, nigga, I was already knocking shit down. You don't even know me like that. You don't even know me. I was already knocking shit down. Don't play with me. So Saul say, all right, nigga, the Lord be with you. Then Saul dressed David in his own tunic. He put a coat of armor on him and a bronze helmet on his head. Remember, Goliath already had on the helmet. These niggas about to crash out. See, Goliath was already, like I said, Goliath was a factor. Goliath was the tank boss. Goliath was the nigga, goddamn, you want to watch TV? You got to ask him, you know what I'm saying, for the remote. That's who Goliath was, you know what I'm saying? These little baby-ass Israelites, these little midget-ass Israelites, they tried to team, they know what I'm saying? They was trying to team up on Goliath, but Goliath kept checking them niggas. Go in the corner, Israelite. Take your ass in the corner, Israelite. Goliath was checking all these niggas. See, now David, little King Von, he got a gun. So he don't give a fuck about all that checking. And he the youngest. So he ain't come up under the politics. David ain't come up under these politics. So David like, nigga, I don't care how old you is, nigga, or what you did back then, nigga, on my ranch, nigga, I'm slaying shit. I'm knocking shit down, nigga. You come on my land, I'm knocking shit down. That's how David is feeling. All right, so both these niggas got helmets on. They ready to crash out. David fastened on his sword over the tunic and tried walking around because he was not used to them. I cannot go in these, he said to Saul, because I am not used to them. So he took them off. Then he took his staff in his hand, chose 5 smooth stones from the stream, put them in a pouch of his shepherd's bag, and with his sling in his hand, approached the Philistine. All right, so look, the Bible line right there. That nigga ain't had no slingshot. I'm going to break it down in hood terms. I'm going to break it down in super wavy terms. All right, so Saul trying to put all this goddamn shoulder pads and knee pads and thigh pads on David. David like, nigga, I can't do my drive-by. I can't walk the nigga down with these thigh pads on. I can't walk the nigga down with this tailbone pad on that you gave me, Saul. So David like, nigga, I don't need no vest. Nigga, I got my tray pound. Okay, so then he took his staff in his hand. So this is basically saying, this is in hood terms. It says David, then he took his chopper, he took his Nina, his 9mm in his hand, chose 5 smooth stones. So in hood terms, David grabbed the Nina and he loaded that motherfucker up. He put the 30 clip inside of the 9. That's what it is saying. He didn't grab no staff and no 5 stones. No, it was 30 stones, but it was a 30 clip. Okay. Let's say he put them in his pouch, in his shepherd's bag. Now see, that's cap. David put the 9 on his waistband. David put the 9 on his waistband. He ain't had no motherfucking shepherd pouch. He ain't had no man bag. Nigga, he ain't had no shoulder strap. These niggas was wearing minimalist clothes. That's why David keep on talking about Goliath uncircumcised. Nigga, how you know? Because the wind blew and your ass was looking. The nigga 9 feet tall. But let's get back to David. So David grabbed the 9, loaded the 30, and put it on his waistband. That's what it is saying in 1 Samuel 17, 39 to 40. Now we at 41. Meanwhile, Goliath, with his shield bearer in front of him, kept coming closer to David. All right, so they ready to crash out. They both got their helmets on. Nigga, they hitting each other, getting amped up. But see, Goliath don't know, you know what I'm saying? David got that little, say hello to my little friend. David got his little friend. You know what I'm saying? Goliath like, nigga, I didn't knock down 50 niggas. Goliath like, nigga, I didn't caught back to back phase. So Goliath think that this about to be, nigga, this a fade? Goliath think you asking that nigga for like you asking that nigga, do he want a starburst or something? You know what I'm saying? So they walking towards each other. He looked David over and saw that he was a little more than a boy, glowing with health and handsome, and he despised him. He said to David, am I a dog that you come at me with? So all right. So Goliath seen that it looked like David had something budging off his waist. You know what I'm saying? Goliath seen that it looked like David had something budging off his waist. So Goliath like, oh, you think I'm green? You came at me with you packing, nigga? And the Philistine cursed David by his gods. Come here, he said, and I will give your flesh to the birds and the wild animals, So that nigga, so basically Goliath, like, nigga, you think, nigga, I hope you ain't come, you know what I'm saying? I hope you packing foul. I hope you packing foul. Now get over here, I'm about to beat your ass and hit you with the peanut butter. All right, we at 45. David said to Goliath, you come against me with sword and spear and javelin, but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have defied. This day the Lord will deliver you into my hands, and I will strike you down and cut off your head. This very day I will give the carcasses of the Philistine army to the birds and the wild animals. Nigga, that ain't how you... See, you can tell David young. David just hollered at that nigga what he hollered at him. He said, Goliath said he gonna feed you to the birds and the animals. David young nigga ass said the same damn thing back to him. And the whole world will know that there is a God in Israel. For those gathered here will know that it is not by sword or spear that the Lord saves, for the battle is the Lord's, and he will give all of you into your hands. See, now David being dishonest right there. David, you showing a little bit of dishonesty, gang, because this is not God fighting for you, gang. You got your tool on you. Goliath just said, nigga, like, you must think I'm green. Why you got your tool on you? So don't try to give all praise. And I hate when Christians and religious folk be like, nigga, win the Heisman and say all praise to God. Nigga, what about your coaches, nigga? What about your parents, nigga? What about your parents, nigga? What about the genetics, nigga? No, so David, you being dishonest, my brother, by saying that, oh, that is not by sword or spear that the Lord saves, for the battle is the Lord's. No, brother, you want some King Von time. He trying to fight you square 101. You got a surprise for him. All right. And he will give all of you into our hands. As the Philistine moved closer to attack him, David ran quickly toward the battle line to meet him. So Goliath, you know what I'm saying, like closing distance on him. David, like, oh yeah, this why I got a 30 clip. David, like, nigga, this is going according to plan. This is why I got a 30 clip. Now let's keep going. Reaching into his bag and taking out a stone, he slung it and struck the Philistine on the forehead. All right, now let me give you, now the Bible line right there. The Bible line, he ain't had no time to reach into no bag. That nigga ain't had no bag on. What was the bag made of? This the hood version. The Bible line, again, on verse 1 Samuel 17:49. That's all a lie. This what happened. He reached into his waistband, taking out the Beretta, and he hit Goliath with a head tap. He hit Goliath with a headshot. It say the bullet sank into his forehead and he fell face down on the ground. It really say the stone, but we know that the Bible line, David had a gun. The only way you is knocking down a big nigga is if you got a gun. The Bible don't want to tell you, yeah, we know they got to get copyrighted and send it to the schools and the Catholics and Presbyterian. No, nigga, David had a gun, nigga. That's how David was able to knock down Goliath in this story. It wasn't no slingshot. Don't go to your bully with a motherfucking slingshot. Don't bring no motherfucking slingshot to no war. Your dumb ass gonna be up there with God. They not telling you the truth. David had a gun. That's the only way he was able to knock down Goliath. So David triumphed over the Philistine with a sling and with a 30 and a Beretta, without the sword in his hand, he struck down the Philistine and killed him. Now it say without the sword in his hand, but we got to be honest. David had a 9. David didn't have no sling and no stone. That's what Donald Trump say. Fake news. All right, so look. So this know what I'm saying? How you know David was from Chicago and he was in the drill music. David used to listen to Chief Keef. Because look what it say. What they say, posted in front of the trap with that walk him down, walk him down, walk him down, walk him down. I was posting on the corner where the J's at. For a nigga eat a Kit Kat. But yeah, so it say David ran and stood over him. So David was on demon time. You ain't standing over no nigga with no slingshot. David had some high power ammunition. David ran and stood over him. He took hold of the Philistine sword, drew it from the sheath. After he killed him, he cut off his head with the sword. Now we all know this how the cracker get down. We all know this how the Neanderthal get down. They like to chop body parts and do weird, crazy stuff like that. But we know for a fact David had a gun. David liked to listen to drill music, and David was acting like he was from Chicago, even though he was from goddamn the Middle East. Let's keep going. When the Philistines saw that their hero was dead, they turned and ran. Then the men of Israel and Judah surged forward with a shout and pursued the Philistines to the entrance of Gath and to the gates of Ekron. Their dead were strewn along the Sharaim road to Gath and Ekron. When the Israelites returned from chasing the Philistines, they plundered their camp. David took the Philistines' head and brought it to Jerusalem. He put the Philistines' weapons in his own tent. As Saul watched David going out to meet the Philistine, he said to Abner, commander of the army, Abner, whose son is that young man? Abner replied, as surely as you live, your majesty, I don't know. The king said, find out whose son this young man is. Say man. So we know how the game go. We know how the game go. We know exactly how to hold on. Okay, I got my brother in the motherfucking building. Hey G. You there,
Hey, what up, bro?
Hey, what's the only way? How's the only way a young nigga can knock down a big nigga? What's the only? We talking about David and Goliath right now. What's the only way a young nigga can knock down a big nigga?
Man, I caught the bag of what you were saying. You heard me? Man, I mean, the way they described it, I mean, the way, I mean, cause you know, I done seen some small niggas, you know what I'm saying? Push up on some
We
so-called big
talking
niggas'
about.
ass.
Hey, see,
But,
look, this G. The story is they trying to say David had a slingshot and 5 rocks. I'm telling the people the Bible is lying. This nigga had a Beretta with a 30 clip. He ain't had no 5 rocks. So let me ask you, what's the only way a young nigga can knock down a big nigga, and the big nigga got a sword, and supposedly the big nigga got a sword, and you supposedly got a damn, what's they call, a slingshot. What sound better, G? Hi, young nigga. And remember, Goliath was 9 feet 9.
right. So ain't no damn rocks gonna do that. Come on. Hey, you right. I ain't never think about that one. You got a good point. Ain't no goddamn rock gonna do that to this dude, bro. That gotta be that had to be a bad motherfucking slingshot, dog.
Then they say he stood over him, cut his head. Don't that sound like that MLE Chopper song? Walk him down, walk him down,
What?
down. They say he stood over Goliath, big ass.
That boy David put that work in on him, huh?
But look though, the whole time David was telling Saul, like, nigga, you a baby. Like, nigga, you too small. You can't fuck with him. David, like, nigga, I didn't knock down shit already. Nigga, I've been knocking shit down since forever. You don't know me. David said, nigga, I've been knocking shit down since forever. You don't know me. Saul say, all right, nigga, Lord be with you, nigga. That's why I say the Bible, you know what I'm saying, whether it was they wanted to, you know what I'm saying, push this shit in schools or make little nursery rhymes out of it, the Bible ain't gonna tell you the truth. I'm here today to tell y'all the truth. They was talking about David had a gun. They just couldn't put it in the book. You know what I'm saying? It would have fucked the ratings up. Uncle Shaka was goody. You there, Uncle Shaka? All right, Uncle Shaka, you're gonna have to copy the link, then put it in your copy the link and put it in your browser, Uncle Shaka. We can't hear you. But hey, G, so I'm breaking down this David and Goliath story, and I'm trying to I was trying to give the people a better understanding, because if you want to believe in a fairy tale, you could believe in a fairy tale. But don't let them just lie. Oh yeah. I ain't even show you this, G. I ain't even show you this. David was freaky too. This nigga David said, man. Now, what we gotta do, G, we gotta find what uncircumcised mean in Hebrew. That's what we gotta do, G. Cause David freaky ass. Let me show you this. All right, look. Hey, G, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, so look, this is David telling Saul, nigga, you don't know me. I'm like that. Nigga, I got bodies under my belt. Check this out. But David's, okay, so it says, Saul replied, you are not able to go out against this Philistine and fight him. You are only a young man, and he has been a warrior from his youth. But David said to Saul, your servant has been keeping his father's sheep. When a lion or a bear came and carried off a sheep from a flock, I went after it, struck it, and rescued the sheep from his mouth. When it turned on me, I seized it by its hair, struck it, and killed it. Your servant has killed both the lion and the bear. This uncircumcised goat Goliath will be like one of them. Now, G, this one time, right? You just out of nowhere calling this nigga uncircumcised. I thought we was talking gangster. He just said something about a nigga.
Man, you know them boys. We always say it. I always say it. You know, the boy been on that did shit, man. You know what I'm saying? They the one who started that did shit, bro.
We supposed to be fighting and you looking somewhere else.
Yeah, you pecker checking this shit. Yeah.
Now look. This, hey, hey, G, this is a whole nother verse. Watch this. David asked the men standing near him, what will be done for the man who kills this Philistine and removes this disgrace from Israel? Who is this circumcised Philistine that he should defy the armies of the living God? Bruh, I thought this was beef.
They wildin', man. Hey, bro, you know that's why we always say, bro, you gotta read that book for yourself, dog, cause man. See,
how we having fighting words? And look, I'm gonna tell you how real this is, G. Now I'm going backwards. So that first verse about circumcision, that was the first one. That second verse about circumcision, that was the second one. Now I'm gonna tell you how crazy it is. I'm gonna tell you how real it was. Like, why would you even be talking about that when this is going on? Check this out. It say, check this out. Now Goliath was a factor. Goliath was like the boogeyman to the Israelites. He was beating their ass up every day. Now check this out. It says the king will give great wealth to the man who killed Goliath. Now, G, what that sound like?
Shit, sound like nigga put a hit on Goliath. nigga put a hit on Shug.
Bruh.
Nigga done dropped the bag on his head.
Dropped the bag on Goliath's head. But look though, see, we always say, G, it's a reason why y'all got this goddamn Sam insurance. It's a reason why these Catholic priests is getting jammed up. Because look, let's go to the next verse. The king will also give him his daughter in marriage. Like, gee, I thought when you put money on somebody's head, I thought that was enough. I thought that was fam. You know how much a nigga. Okay, there go G. G, so look, check this out. The nigga say the king will give great wealth to the man who kills him. He will also give him his daughter in marriage. What that sound like, G?
Man, come on, man. Say that again, though.
So it's basically saying whoever killed Goliath, the king gonna make him rich, and he also gonna give him his daughter.
God damn, boy. You hate a man that much that you will drop the bag on him and give you his daughter. Man, he pimping. Goliath must be messing with his hoes or something.
Goliath must have took his bitch.
Yeah.
And then it say it will exempt his family from taxes in Israel. So Goliath was like goddamn Big U.
Like Suge
Goliath was like Debo.
Fact, yeah. He like Suge Knight, you heard?
Goliath was like Suge Knight to these Israelites. Give me that. What you got on my shekel, nigga? That's my shekel, pump.
Goliath was strong on them boys, huh?
Man, this nigga say, whoever get rid of Goliath, the king will give great wealth and will also give him his daughter. And then you start getting David talking about like he missed the whole mission. David start talking about, man, that nigga over there uncircumcised. He uncircumcised. What they got to do with you beating his ass, David?
Well, we already know the story between Saul and David. We know they had some diddy shit going on between each other. So it don't surprise me. My boy bird watching and shit, yeah.
Oh, hold on. I think I forgot about that. What happened with Saul and David? Damn, I think I forgot about that.
No, not David and Saul. David and Jonathan.
Oh yeah.
David and Jonathan. He want the brother. He didn't want the dog. He didn't want the sister. He wanted that boy got a hug from Jonathan and got rocked up. Yeah, man, the boys been on that did it, dog.
Hey.
So it don't surprise me, he's supposed to be going to war. He like, oh, hold up. That boy holding him. He bird watching, man.
Man, and hey, I'm tripped out how the king say, nigga, can have my daughter, nigga. Fuck it, nigga. Nigga, you a killer, but nigga, hear my daughter.
That's that type of weird shit be going on with that KJV dog. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody I know, bro, personally would do that type of shit in real time. Against the
Come on.
op, I'm gonna get, man. I'm not, no, bro. I don't care how much the op, I hate this nigga. Man, I'm not giving you, man. What?
All right. Now we about to get into talking about the beast. We about to talk about the beast a little bit and understand that our people is understanding people. Our people is loving people. Our people is not no monsters. If a black person become a monster, his ass got tainted with. His ass got tapped into. Let's get into some of these just to show you the personality traits of the Neanderthal gene pool. Okay, this you know how these niggas like to bring up Encyclopedia Britannica. You niggas love to bring up Britannica. So let's check this out. History and Society. 7 of history's most notorious serial knockdowns. Strictly speaking, a serial knockdowner is someone who unalive at least 2 people in separate events that occur at different times. While serial unalivers is not formalized by any legal code, the crimes of serial unalivers have often been seized on by the media and the public consciousness. All right, let's go to Jack the Ripper. Now this is 7. Now this is what I'm typing: 7 of history's most notorious serial unalivers. Let's see what these guys look like. Jack the Ripper. What do he look like? What Jack the Ripper look like? Let's see what Mr. Jack the Ripper look like. Can we get Jack the Ripper? Okay, Caucasian cat, Caucasus Mountain cat. It says we call him Jack the Ripper, but we don't really know who the person behind one of the older and most notorious murder sprees was. The unalive appeared in London's Whitechapel district in 1888 and unalived 5 women, all prostitutes, and mutilated their corpses. Police surmised the unaliver was a surgeon, butcher, or someone skilled with a scalpel. The unaliver mocked the community and police by sending letters outlining the acts. Although many suspects have been named over the years, the unaliver has never been identified. Jack the Ripper. Now we already know about Jeff. Jeff is a cracker. Oh, Jeff. What's Harry Shipman? Harry Shipman black. Uh-oh. There you go right here. Look at the cracker. What do he look like, G? Who that look like?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro.
Don't that look like our high school professor?
Facts.
It look like our damn next door neighbor. Now let's keep going. Harold Shipman, also known as Mr. Death, is believed to have unalived an estimated 250 patients. This doctor practiced in Greater Manchester, England, and between 1972 and 98, he worked in 2 different offices, unalive all the while. He wasn't caught until a red flag was raised by several people, including the Undertaker, who, surprised by the sheer number of cremation certificate shipment was a part of, along with the fact that most of the cases were elderly women found to have died in bed, not at night, but rather during the day. Police mishandled the investigation and shipment kept unaliving until he got greedy and tried to concoct a will for a victim that named him beneficiary, which led to the victim's daughter to become suspicious. He was finally convicted in 2000 and committed suicide while he was in prison in 2004. Coward! Coward! Goddamn cracker! You out here knocking off people's mamas and you go just unalive yourself, cracker? Probably was trying to get your ass the needle. Come on now, cracker. We gotta do better than this. All right, John Wayne Gacy. John Wayne Gacy. That name sounds familiar. John Wayne Gacy. John Wayne Gacy. Okay. 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 Who that look like, G?
Cracker, but that boy there, yeah, I'm familiar with that boy. That boy there with. But they say we crazy though. Man, we don't do shit like that, bro. You know what I'm saying? That nigga there wild, boy.
Look like a football coach.
Nah, facts.
Like a little football. Let's say a construction worker known by his suburban neighbors as John Wayne Gacy was involved in politics and even acted as a clown for birthday parties. He was no clown. Gacy came under suspicion in 1978 when a 15-year-old boy last seen with him went missing. That wasn't the only time families of missing boys had pointed fingers at Gacy, but it was the first time authorities took them seriously. Soon after, a search warrant granted police access to the Gacy home with the smell of nearly what? How you smell 30 bodies? With the smell of nearly 30 bodies buried in a 4-foot crawl space under his home. He was convicted of 33 counts with additional count of R-word and torture was executed by lethal injection in 1994. Now see, we don't really, you know what I'm saying? This Texas, so they gonna, hey G, this Texas, they gonna hit your ass with that needle in Texas. But, and we don't really, I don't feel like a lot of people deserve the needle, but when you hear shit like this right here, man, a 15-year-old boy, come on, John, let's show your face again. You gotta see the enemy. Look him in his eyes. Look at that booty chin. Develop an understanding who the enemy is. John Wayne Gacy. We ain't known for this type of shit, gang. We under H. Holmes. It might be a brother right here, H. Holmes. Hold up, Wavy. You didn't messed up, Wavy. Hold up, Wavy. Never mind. This is another one. All right, let's see what John Wayne Gacy got going on. Oh, you come on. Chicago has had its share of unalivers. Hey, Shaka, click the link again. All this happening in Chicago. How is all this happening in Chicago? Uncle Shaka, click the link. You gotta explain to us what was going on back then, man. What was y'all doing in the 70s? Come take up for the cracker, Uncle Shaka. Come get him, Uncle Shaka. All right, H. Holmes. Chicago has had its share of unalivers, perhaps none more haunting than H. Holmes, the pharmacist who turned a hotel into a torture castle. Ahead of 1893 World's Fair, Holmes moved to Chicago and started outfitting the 3-story hotel with all manner of nefarious contraptions, including gas lines, secret passages, and trapdoors, hallways to dead ends, chutes to the basement, soundproof padding, and torture devices strewn throughout a maze. The gas allowed Holmes to knock out his guests before the worst of what was to happen came next, often on his surgical tables. He then buried the bodies in the building's furnace, selling skeletons to medical schools and running life insurance scams. In all, he copped it to more than 30 bodies, found only after a fellow scammer turned him in for falling short on a financial agreement before he was hanged in 1896. Damn, they said they must have got some street justice. Crackers must have got street justice right there. Pedro Lopez. Okay, Pedro Lopez. Colombian. Okay, Colombian. Got a Colombian cat. All right. One of the world's most prolific serial unalivers might still be out there. Pedro Lopez is linked to more than 300 unalivings in his native Colombia and in Ecuador and Peru. At least one third of those unalivings were tribal women. After Lopez's arrest in 1980, police found the graves of more than 50 of his preteen victims. He was later convicted of murdering 110 girls in Ecuador and confessed to 240 more in Colombia and Peru. The monster of the Andes didn't even spend 20 years in prison, as he was released in 1998 for good behavior. More than 20 years since, his whereabouts remain unknown. Man, G, you hear this shit?
That boy out of control, dog.
Did you say he confessed to? It say he was convicted of 110 in Ecuador, and he confessed to 240 more in Colombia and Peru.
Damn.
This nigga playing Grand Theft Auto.
Damn, dog. That nigga cut up, boy.
Man, that is out of. Oh,
that nigga, I ain't never heard. He got the record then, huh? Yeah, damn.
Man, that shit. It say he was convicted of 110 and he confessed to 240 more. Nigga, we do the math. That's 350. And then G, it say that nigga was out. It say they let him out. That nigga must have been working. Hey,
Yeah,
he must have been working.
Yeah, yeah, he worked. God damn.
You think that nigga was working?
Oh yeah, that boy definitely was working. You was working, dog.
All right, Ted Bundy. It's the last one right here. So far, no black men. Let's keep going. Ted Bundy loved the attention his murders, his unalivers garnered him. And many in the United States were more than happy to give him that attention. The Western U.S. was his hunting ground, with an unknown number of unalivings piling up, mostly college-age women from Washington and Oregon all the way to Utah and Colorado. Bundy was once arrested in Colorado and convicted of kidnapping, but he escaped custody, moving to Florida, where he killed multiple times more. Bundy's final arrest and its aftermath captured the attention of the nation as the accused unaliver acted as his own lawyer during what is believed to have been the first televised murder trial. All right, so it say Ted Bundy acted as his own lawyer. This nigga had nuts. What is put to believe to have been the first televised murder trial. Welcome interviews and boasted of the fans he had created. He was eventually elected executed in the electric chair in 1989. All right. Y'all got it. Y'all got it. A mind is a terrible thing to waste. We got to stay focused. We got to keep on building up our brain. You know, you got bodybuilders over here on Powerful Builds Only. We brain builders. You know what I'm saying? And don't just react, nigga. Bust a move. Don't just be out here reacting. Don't just be out here on defense, nigga. Bust a goddamn move. Nigga. Bust a goddamn move. All right, G. What's up with the Saints, man? I heard y'all getting Deion Sanders' son.
Man, Dion ain't going for that, boy. Dion ain't going for that one, you heard me? Nah.
Hey,
But I like old boy from Ole Miss though.
oh,
I wouldn't
Jackson
mind.
Dart.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind picking that ball up, you heard me?
And then, hey, when they said, I think it was Adam Schefter. He was like, the Saints. They said something like Derek Carr got a shoulder issue or something, and the Saints
Yeah.
might be looking to get Shedeur Sanders. That nigga Deion Sanders put the eyes up on Twitter.
Oh yeah?
Come on,
Damn.
you know he already wearing black and gold already.
Facts. But that'll be crazy work. I definitely wouldn't mind getting a young brother here. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Shedeur in the first round, the Saints. Shedeur in the first round, Shallow in the third or fourth round, and Deion as the coach next year.
That'll be crazy, dog. That'll be crazy. Which you know what I'm saying? That'll be crazy, dog.
The script already written.
Ooh, that'll be crazy, dog. That'll be. But I knowing the organization, bro, they'll find a way to fuck that up. You hear me? They'll find a way to fuck that up. Well, I'm trying. I want to see what your bar gonna do there now. You know what I'm saying? The coach we got now. You know what I'm saying? I think you know we might have a good little shot with him, but I definitely pick Dion though. You know Dion and that's the trade Dion in order for us to get signed. You know what I'm saying? The son we got to get Dion, man. Yeah, get that, bro.
Y'all got Dennis Allen, right?
Nah, we fired his ass, but we wound up getting what's his name? Something Kelly. You heard me? You know what I'm saying? He was the Cowboys offensive coach, and then he was the offensive coach for Philly.
The Eagles.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he gonna get fired, gang. You talking about Kellen Moore.
Yeah, Kellen Moore, yeah.
Kellen Moore. Nah, hey, he a good offensive coordinator, but it's like this, gang. If the Saints go 2-14, 3-13, you feel me? So I think it's already written. Like Deion know he couldn't come this year. You know what I'm saying? He knew he couldn't come this year because he promised. You gotta think about the niggas that was after Shedeur and after his son that he promised. You feel me? So it's more so like he gonna work this last year out. You know what I'm saying? He gonna take a buyout, and he coming to the Saints next year. That's if the Saints are below 500. If they below 500, they firing Kellen Moore and going after
Dion, yeah, facts. I mean, you know, I don't see how Duke could be worse than D8, bro. Then like you can't get no goddamn worse than Dennis Allen, dog. Know what I'm saying? Like a lot of the games we lost last year was coaching, bro. You know what I'm saying? Coaching and play calling, like my daughters was calling out the play calls, and they don't even watch football, bro. That's how sorry the play calling was, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. We got to do better than that, dog. I think, man, we definitely got to get a Q. I'm glad, you know, I don't be wanting injury on nobody, so I don't want to say it like that. But talk trash, dog. Call trash, bro. You know what I'm saying? So that probably was a good thing he got hurt, bro. So that forced him to go get a quarterback. You know what I'm saying? We got to.
I think the crazy thing is, bro, like, and we seeing it happen with Joe Burrow. A nigga come in the league, top pick, and they'll take so much money on their second and third deals that the team don't have nothing to play with. They don't have nothing to spend to get them help with. I think Derek Carr never really had that much help, you know what I'm saying, as far as like O-line, stout defense. Derek Carr ain't never really had like the Saints O-line is okay. It could be way, 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 way better. I think they just got Ruiz.
That's a fact. We definitely I give them that, you know what I'm saying? I give them that, you know, like, because our line is, we got banged up, you know what I'm saying? We got banged up early. We ain't got no depth. Now, starting line up, we good, but then we lost like 2 linemen against the Cowboys, second game of the year, you know what I'm saying? And after that, it was just, man, it was brutal, man. Dude was like, you know, he was running for his life. I ain't gonna lie.
Another thing, Mike Thomas. The organization did a horrible job finding a successor for Mike Thomas. Shaheed, he cool, you know, but you don't want your quarterback to make your wide receiver. You need that heir apparent to Michael Thomas to be nigga known and drafted early. You feel me?
Nah, facts. Right, but you know, Mike Thomas, he knew. But you know what I'm saying? It wasn't professional, you know what I'm saying? Definitely wasn't, you know what I'm saying? But I can understand why Mike wouldn't want to play for Derek Carr. Because even when he got time, bro, in the backfield, he got 8-9 seconds back there. He'll still do some goofy ass shit. And you be like, bro, what would you watch? What was you looking at? You know what I'm saying? Like, he only got one read, dog. That's all you're going to get from him. He got one read, and then he gonna do something stupid with it.
That shit crazy, man. That shit crazy. So what happened with Mike Thomas this last year?
Man, you know he playing like he hurt, man. You know what I'm saying? Acting like he hurt and shit, man. But he ain't hurt. He just don't want to play. He sat out the whole year, bro. The whole year, bro.
He got hurt early or something?
Man, nah, he had got hurt, man, the year before last, man. And he act like he could never come back.
Oh, man. Mike was finesse.
Then he be at home, Twitter fingers going on.
Tweet.
I said, bro, Mike crazy, bro. But I hope, you know what I'm saying, because I love him. Shout out to that brother. I just hope what he doing don't hurt his career, because he's starting to look like a AB a little bit. You know what I'm saying? He's starting to look like an Antonio Brown, bro, with that crazy stuff.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. You be playing Madden?
Yeah.
Mike Thomas like a 74 on Madden right now. So I don't think Madden saying he lost it right now.
Yeah, I mean, because they ain't what they got to go on. He really, when you think about it, he played like probably 2 games in the last 2 years.
Okay.
But then, you know, we got to see that work, because then you got to ask, because we don't see no work, we got to ask how much was that Drew Brees making him look good, right? But I ain't gonna lie, the brother used to be put it in front. He was catching everything.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think Mike Thomas is a great wide receiver. It's just everything got to be going. Drew Brees used to feed that nigga.
Oh yeah,
Derek Carr.
And you know, Brees was so accurate, you're right. So you just got to get where you need to be at. Brees gonna do his job. And Mike used to have 2, 3 niggas on. He still grabbing that bit, coming down with it.
Yeah.
You know, can't go Mike. Dude was a problem. I ain't taking nothing from him. He was a monster.
Derek Carr gonna feed that tight end.
Yeah, you know that's the type of player. You know that's what he gonna do. If the tight end ain't got nothing going on, he's just gonna fall. He'll throw it down the field with 5 other jerseys on the nigga. And I don't know. Get it. No, Derek Carr got all the receivers hurt last year.
How we do that?
You got dudes waving that call wide open, like, yo, he's throwing to somebody in coverage, about to get him blown up, dog. I said, nah, boy, DC boy, you started, boy. I used to, you know what I'm saying? And when he was with the Raiders, bro, I was like, you know, he was better than his brother, but now you kind of looking like, I don't know, bro. You might be just as garbage as his brother.
You started to look like his brother?
Yeah, man, he started to look like his brother, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, if the Saints wasn't to get Mike Thomas, who would you want them to get? I mean, if the Saints wasn't to get Shador.
Like I said, I go with dude from Ole Miss, man. If I could, I try to move up and at least get him. You know what I'm saying? Then I like the running back for Bozy too, cause you know what I'm saying. But we definitely got to get some help on the line, bro, and put some on that defense. What's up, Ray?
Jalen.
Yo, I just wanted to call in, touch on the whole. My boy said H Holmes, the most sickest nigga probably known to man. You ever heard of the Murder House?
Say it again.
Matter of fact, you ever heard of Black Hand of Death? You ever heard of Preacher Man from New York?
Yeah.
The nigga that kidnapped. Okay, he 5 times worse than that nigga. Let's put it at that. H Holmes was put. You know how niggas was putting niggas in the walls and shit? And you know what I'm saying? Like, that's H.H. Home, nigga. That's what he was doing. That's the nigga that started the shit. I just want to say to all of America that's watching before I leave, when you look
Wait,
up
hold on. Don't go
pedophilia,
nowhere.
hold on. When you
Don't
look up
go nowhere.
pedophilia,
You
when you
say that
look
nigga
up
was
killers,
niggas in the walls?
bro, what? He was on that. What you mean? He had a place called Murder House. He had a place called Murder House. Matter of fact, I don't think it was a house. I think it was a hotel. Yeah, I think it was a hotel where people would check in and come up missing and shit. Yeah, it was something like that, bro. Yeah, bro, like that nigga was on some shit, bro. H.H. Holmes was a motherfucker. Like, he put Jack the Ripper to shame, bro. That nigga was a motherfucker, bro.
Man, what? That nigga say a hotel. Oh yeah,
Yeah, bro, it was like a hotel or some shit. It was, bro, it
Hey,
was something, bro.
it say the pharmacist who turned the hotel into a torture castle.
Bro, I told you, bro.
Damn.
Bro, he was not playing, bro.
Watch your feet.
And when you know what's so crazy? When they knocked down the building, they found so many bodies, bro, they had been missing for years. Whole time they been in the hotel. They thinking people up and leaving, disappearing out the hotel. No, they in the hotel. They've been there, bitch.
Hey, let me ask you this, because at the end, it was kind of confusing. It said he was hung in 1896. What they talking about?
Hung, man, like he was hung from like the gallows, nigga.
Like that was the punishment at that time by the law?
Man, shit, around that time, nigga, you was either getting that or the guillotine. But I think Chicago had cut out the guillotine. So shit, yeah, nigga, like you was getting hung and shit. Especially like in a situation like that, bro, when they really wasn't doing it, but they had to do that to make an example out of him, bro. Like they had to do it, bro, like cause that nigga was fucking people up, bro. He, like I said, he put Jack the Ripper to shame. He put like niggas want to talk about Jeffrey Dahmer? No, nigga, he put niggas to shame. I don't know how he's number 2. That I find that disrespectful. I feel he's number 1.
Nah, facts. That boy, I look at that boy wild.
You said what? Who number 1?
They got this nigga number 3 behind Pedro.
Man, they got this nigga number 3.
Hey, you ever heard of Pedro Lopez? This nigga crazy.
I never heard of Pedro. I never heard of Pedro.
Bro, it say he was convicted of unaliving 100 girls in Ecuador. Then this goofy nigga confessed to 240 more.
Shit. And around what time was this? What year was this? 70 something.
1980.
1980. They say they let the nigga out in 18 years on good behavior.
But my thing is, see, bro, like around that time, bro, like around the 70s, bro, 80s, that's when like the Son of Sam, the Atlanta Ripper, like a whole bunch of people, like, you know what I'm saying, like Satanists or cults were popping up. Like that was around that time, bro. So I'm not surprised. Like I'm like, as a matter of fact, around that time, down here, bro, doing the killing fields, that shit was around the same time. Like everybody was getting, bro, around them times, bro, everybody was getting fucked up. But like I said, no one has nothing on H.H. Holmes, bro. Cause the way he was doing this shit, like think about it, bro. You think you about to check into a nice, decent hotel, about to go on vacation, boom. Not only did that nigga took your money, that nigga took your soul. Nigga, like you never coming back home. Like that nigga was a motherfucker.
Hey, and look, and then like, and I think one of the bigger pictures for showing all this shit is to show you like if you white, you right. Because look at this shit. It say in all he copped to more than 30 murders, found only after a fellow scammer turned him in for
Fellow
falling short
scammer.
on the financial street. So the only way they caught the nigga is because his business partner ratted on him.
So that nigga really would have got away type shit. Scot free.
Got free.
I'm saying, bro.
We gotta
Like,
we got some static. Your mic got just hit some static. Hey, I got a question though about the NBA, man. What's up with Dallas and AD? Do they need to everybody should get fired? What's going on with Dallas?
uh, bro, honestly, dude, people complaining about that, but people
Hey,
forget that
cut your Wi-Fi out, baby.
my Wi-Fi, nah, my Wi-Fi out. Real quick, hold on, real quick, hold on. I'm gonna come right back.
Man, I heard they really want to try to they really trying to move the team into Vegas. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? 'Cause that gotta be one of the dumbest trades ever, bro. You know what I'm saying? Think about it. It gotta be something you trying to. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be trying to move the team. You know what I'm
Oh.
saying? Come on. Cause why would you sabotage your own self like that? You know what I'm
And
saying? So
then, and then they already feel like Luca can't control himself. So if they go to Vegas, they making the problem way worse.
way worse. But you know they made that was the craziest trade ever. But you trade Luka to the Lakers, and they going crazy.
Number what? 2 seed
This man just brought y'all to the finals, bro. You
last
know what
year.
I'm saying? Last year to the finals, and you trade a man. Nah, it's bigger than that, bro. Cause we already know. Everybody let their star player do what you want to do, bro. Your star player, you might not like, but
Yeah.
you ain't just gonna be. You know what I'm saying?
And they
Nah,
got
bro.
videos. And they got
Yeah.
videos. They got videos of the general manager like yanking beer out of that nigga Luca hand after wins and shit.
Damn.
And like
I ain't
and
know.
like it'll be a picture. It'll be a picture of Luca like celebrating. The GM will be in the background like looking at him. Hey, so they had a problem with that nigga diet gang. And then
Nah,
they
fact. Nah,
sued.
I can feel that, dog. But think about it though. I understand
Hey, hold
that,
on.
right?
Let me say this. Let me say this for you formulate. Let me say this. Let me say this last thing. 2 days ago, they had a closed press conference. You couldn't bring no cameras in, and you couldn't bring no recordings in. You could only write down the press conference. And they saying that that's making the front office look bad. The nigga said they asked him, "Do you regret the Luka trade?" The nigga said, "I'm gonna reiterate what I said a couple months ago. Defense win championships." They basically said like that's what he's standing on. but we know it's the diet too. But go ahead, G.
Oh yeah, nah. I mean, and I understand that. I can understand all that, right? But you know, uh, yeah, LeBron. You know what I'm saying? But outside LeBron, but this dude's in way better shape than this man, right? And can't get you 10 buckets, can't get you 5 points. This man, I get it. He ain't, but man, he playing 30 something minutes, 33 something minutes. Give you a triple double. And you talking about his diet? Come on, man. It's bigger than that, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's bigger than that, right? And baby, you know, it could be that, right? You know what I'm saying? But look how he went to LA and then slimmed down a little bit. Hey. And still going crazy. Riley, what the hell are you?
Yeah, Broski definitely ain't stopped going crazy, man. It's like I think what you saying about Dallas moving to Vegas, that make the most sense. The only thing is, that to me that makes sense on why they would just sabotage they goddamn team, because they know they star player is like he ain't got it all as far as the passion and the want to and the will. But I remember LeBron saying he want to create a team in Vegas. So you know what I'm saying? That kind of wouldn't make no sense. I think if anything, the NBA will add a team instead of moving the team. I don't know. I remember LeBron saying he want a team in Vegas or something like that.
I mean, he got the braid to do it, dog. You know what I'm saying? He got the braid to do it, right? You know what I'm saying? So, man, I don't know. That's just what I heard, and when I think about it, I'm like, damn, well, that kind of would make sense, because I can't think of any other reason why would you do that. You know what I'm saying? I
Right,
can't personally, you know.
right. That's a
I'm
fact.
like, man, you know, man,
That's a fact.
like besides Dirt, bro, that's, you know what I'm saying? He was like the next Dirt, bro. Dude cold. I ain't gonna lie. I wanted to believe of him at first, bro, but then man, nah, you can't deny him, bro. He a monster.
Mm.
I was just in here watching that Denver and Clippers game.
Are they playing right now? Game one?
They went off and went to overtime. Denver won.
It's gonna be a good series. Kawhi playing?
Yeah, he was playing. Man, he kind of went missing in the fourth quarter though. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Now, all right. So we got this guy named Edward Stone. Edward Stone. Edward Stone was born 1782. He died 1826. So Edward Stone wasn't that old, gang. Edward Stone wasn't that old. What that is? 18 plus 26. 18 plus 26. That's 44. Edward Stone was 44 years old, also known as Ned Stone, as an American slave trader. Was an American slave trader. He participated in the interregional slave trade. Now, this is what we're gonna do a show on. Interregional slave trade, all these slave trades. We're gonna do shows on these shits. Drop little gems in between regular shows. Between Maryland, Kentucky, Mississippi, and Louisiana. Now, if you black, most of your family, a lot of our family come from Louisiana. Let's keep going. Stone had a slave jail under his house. Let's read this again. Ned Stone was an American slave trader. He participated in the interregional slave trade between Maryland, Kentucky, Mississippi, and Louisiana. Stone had a slave jail under his house, the Grange, which was built in the 1810s near Paris, Kentucky. Stone was killed on the Ohio River in 1826 by what, G?
Let me see. I was listening to you. Hold on.
Look at
Oh
the
yeah, you do. Yeah, I
the
can't
first
really
paragraph.
see it the way you just reading the biography. You have to scroll up a little
Oh
bit for
no,
me.
right before the biography, the
Oh,
last
Stone was
five
killed
words.
on the Ohio River in 1826 by slaves. He was transported for.
Got him,
got him.
got him.
That's a good for a picture.
All our
But say now,
ancestors
hey,
went laying down.
that was powerful. That was powerful, bro. They don't
All
teach
our
us that in school
ancestors
though.
went laying down.
Right, facts. That's what I was about to say, bro. That's powerful. They ain't gonna have that one in the books.
Come on,
Nah.
facts. All right. According to Kentucky historian J. Winston Coleman, the the Grange, the the slave jail was a fine example of Georgian architecture, and the basement dungeon consisted of 5 or 6 strongly barred cells for holding enslaved people prior to transport.
No. No
According
toys.
to a news article published in 1919, ingress to the dungeon is through slanting doors to a cellar or compartment crossing, which one
Give me a hug.
comes to an opening in the
Can
wall
I play with
about
me?
3 feet
Can
wide.
I play with you?
Hold on, let me make sure I read.
Can I play with you?
Oh shit.
Nah, you good. I got you. It says, within is Egyptian darkness, save for the faintest ray of light which filters through a small buried. So black is the darkness that even with the lantern sometime elapses after entering before the opposite walls can he discern. Okay, Stone originally owned and likely built the neighboring Thomas Champ House, also known as Sulphur Spring. Let's see. The records of Concordia Parish, Louisiana, show that Stone was selling there in 1820. In 1821, Stone and Thomas Phillips were partners in the slave trade. This business partnership with Thomas Phillips was concluded in 1823. Let me see what else. Stone, his nephew Howard Stone, and 3 other whites were killed on the Ohio River in 1826 by the people he was trafficking south. The news report about his murder, now known as the 1826 Ohio River Slave Revolt, read as follows. Information reached Louisville on Friday, last of the murder of 5 white men by a gang of slaves on board of a flatboat in the river, about 100 miles below that place. They were owned by Howard and Edward Stone of Bourbon. So we saying the slaves were owned by Howard and Edward Stone. It's called karma. Who with David Cobb of Lexington and a man named James Gray were conveying them to Mississippi County for sale. These are the individuals that have been murdered. The 5th victim was Mr. Davis, who had taken his passage on board the boat to Louisville. The gang of slaves consisted of 75 in number, men and women of various ages. 56 of them have been lodged in the jail of Breckinridge County in Hardinsburg. They were taken in Indiana. One of the unfortunate individuals, it is said, who was on a deck when a butchery commenced below, swam from the boat to the shore, but was pursued and dispatched. Some of the slaves have been lately purchased in Maryland. Man, that's crazy. That's how you get a cracker out the way. And he took and there were 5 of them. 5 cats thought they contained 75 cats, 75 kings and queens. The nerve of the cracker. The nerve.
But say, bro, that go to show you the power of the unity, bro. You know what I'm saying? The power and unity, bro. And you know, that's just like when you think about it, bro. If we just for one day, bro, not one day, but for you know, if we could just, man, come to this one common ground, dog. You know what I'm saying? Put all the differences to the side, bro. We'll be powerful, bro. We'll be powerful, dog.
That.
Don't get me wrong. You know, we gonna take some L's along the way, but you know, the greater picture for our kids, our future, our grandkids, you know what I'm saying, bro? We'll be back. We could history could repeat itself. You know what I'm saying? We could run this bitch, you know. And I believe, you know, sooner or later we will, bro. We gotta. Cause the youngest these days, they really ain't. Youngest, man, I ain't gonna lie. We pay attention to these youngest, bro. The youngest really ain't on that, bro. You know what I'm saying? We look at them like, oh man, they wild and this and that. But guess what though? From what I see, bro, they don't really. You know what I'm saying? They don't really. They not going for that, bro. You know, they ain't going for that. They shooting at the laws. They shoot, you know what I'm saying? They, you know, so I gotta give them that, you heard me? You know? And, you know, but it take stuff like what you doing, bro. You know what I'm saying? And the OGs, the old heads, bro, you know what I'm saying? Because once, you know, our old heads, our OGs, bro, they not gonna be here too much longer, bro. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be on us to really, like, give them that game, you know, at least plant that seed on them, right? Because you got to think about it, bro. In the time we living in the inner cities of America, bro, I know for sure, like the 2 places I've been in, New Orleans and Houston, bro, it's not even realistic to tell brothers to put the watch down. You know what I'm saying? It's not realistic to tell a nigga stop carrying that thing because of so much shit going on, right? But, bro, we just made smarter decisions and unified, bro. We could have another Wall Street. You know what I'm saying? We could have another Black Wall Street, bro.
We gotta encourage our. We gotta encourage our. I hate when people say, "Get out the streets." The streets ain't the same. Like, when was the streets ever this? When was the streets ever this facade that we make it out to be? Like when, like we know what the streets is going into it. So it's not necessarily the streets ain't the same, nigga. Everything is the same. Like a nigga will wait till he 30 years old and be like, man, I learned my lesson. Ain't shit in there, but death or a jail cell. That's how it always been, gang. Why they act like the police woke up in the 2000s, gang? They act like the. Go ahead, man.
The only thing changed, bro, is the rules, bro. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I never fix my car. I come from that, bro. I you know, when sometimes I still gotta do what I gotta do. You know what I'm saying? So that's gonna always be you. We made hustling, but anyway, bro. For the people that say shit like that, bro, my rebuttal, my question to that question be, because it's easy for you to say that, but what you gonna put these brothers to do? You know what I'm saying? This families, bro. You know what I'm saying? You gotta put something in place. You can't just take away something. You gotta put something in place for that, bro. It sound good, you know what I'm saying? But then really, when I think about it, it really be some old heads, they really come from a jig, but I believe personally 75% of the people, you know what I'm saying, really hating their situation and really be hating on you. You hear me? You know what I'm saying? You know, you really be wanting to do it, but you just don't want to drop your nuts on the ground and take off. You know what I'm saying? Because you scary, so you hating on the next man. You better go. And I'm not knocking you, work wherever you work, but man, you can't. Don't be mad at this man because he doing what he doing. You gotta go. You know, at Sonic or something. You hear me? You can't get mad at the brother. You hear me? And I know dudes till this day, bro. Like dudes, yeah, I'm talking about old heads, bro. Like they got him a little job, but guess what? Them boys still man, you need to get out the streets. You can't. What you gonna? Like brothers was born into this shit. They had no other option. You know what I'm saying? Like what you gonna put in place for them to do? You know what I'm saying? Like drop this and then go make $9. I don't even say, like, come on, you see?
I be looking at it like we try to make it seem like we try to make it seem like this shit is YNs is crashing out and we never seen this before and all of this shit is new and look at this shit.
The difference from when I jumped off the post, we ain't had cameras and shit.
Hey, look at this.
You
Hey, look at this. This is 1993. Check this out. This in your time. This in our time. 1993.
It ain't helping none. If they lock this man up here 15 years flat, what you gonna do when you come out, cuz? Still be crippin' regardless. We get locked up, we crippin'. We out here, we crippin'. This is in our blood till we die.
Say, G. Say. All I'm saying is it's a reason why the young niggas don't say we ain't got no OGs or say we follow our own orders or we freestyle game. It's a reason why. You seen that video, G? You seen that video, G?
Yeah, I saw it.
That nigga say we gonna be crippin' till we die. It's in our vein. You heard him say that?
Yeah, I heard him, dog. Yeah, I heard.
But then we go to jail, go do 10 years, and try to preach getting out the streets. Now it's cool that it took 10 years for you to get an understanding. All I'm saying is don't act like this shit brand new. You feel me?
Nah, facts. Nah, this ain't nothing. Hey, bro, you know the old saying. You know, my grandma, man, ain't nothing new under the sun. All that shit you think you doing new, we done seen it, bro. You know what I'm saying? They done seen it, bro. It's just in 3D now. You know what I'm saying? It's in 3D now. You know what I'm saying? But hey, bro, you know that's what's great about learning how to adapt, dog. See, some people don't know how to adapt. You don't know how to adapt, you gonna wind up crashing out. You gonna wind up getting tricked out your spot. And you know, I was always taught this, but it ain't what you do, is how you do it. You know what I'm saying? And what make me hustling any different from what the government been doing us all these years?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That created these environments. So you telling me to get out of something that was created for me to be in.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. We gotta be more realistic about it. I understand. You come home, you did 10 years, you come home, you want to get some game, that's cool, but don't tell another man, you know, man, get.
Right, it's just a few. Grape Street. See to the heart, dude. That's OGC look right there. 103rd Grape Street. Y'all ever heard of OG? Now, they ain't got no leaders up in 57. It ain't no leader. Ain't no, it's OG. OG. Original niggas. OGs. You know?
That's what we be saying nowadays.
In the
Ain't no leader.
90s.
1993, a year before I was born. That's what we be saying nowadays. Ain't no leader.
Hey, man, and they got what, bro? This shit gonna go on when we go. You know what I'm saying? They ain't never gonna stop, bro. He ain't never gonna stop. You know? They ain't never gonna stop.
Come on, man. But yeah, I wanted to show that just to show we didn't created a whole word. We didn't created a whole acronym for our young brothers, for our young kings, and they've been reduced to YN.
Ain't that crazy, bro?
These
Ain't that crazy?
young scientists, young presidents, young
Right.
mayors, young governors, young sheriffs, young
Right.
teachers, young professors been reduced to YN.
YNs, bro. And them YNs is gonna be the ones wiping your ass when you in the goddamn nursing home. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna them YNs gonna be the ones feeding your old ass. You know what I'm
Fighting
saying?
for reparations.
You feel me? On the line, bro. They got like these YNs graduating right now to be freedom fighters, dog. To fight for our liberation. You know what I'm saying? Like they got all black college kids graduating right now, bro. Right now, bro.
Top two swimmers in college football in college. I think it was two black dudes, top two swimmers.
See what I'm saying, bro? So you know, you try to put all these people in the box, bro. And that is just crazy, bro. And even the young, but you need, like we need all of it, cause that's the soldiers. You need the soldiers. Cause get what? When they pop off, you gonna hope you got some YNs with some what they call them Dracos. You know what I'm saying? Them wops. You heard me? You better hope. You know what I'm saying? Cause I know you ain't got nothing. You know what I'm saying?
We coming from syrup sandwiches and noodles and shit.
You feel me,
Ham,
bro?
bologna and cheese sandwiches to
Right. That's what I'm talking
man.
about.
Like you can't hate on our
No,
people.
no,
We
man.
is survivors.
Facts.
We
But
can't
see,
down
most people, and that's the thing, most people that say shit like that, right? Never been in them shoes before, bro. So they don't even have a clue what people done seen, right? Or what see, bro. You know, like that shit was like when you grow up in them environments, it's kind of it becomes. I'm not saying it is, but it becomes normal to you, so you don't be tripping on it. But then when you know I left Louis. When I started doing this all field shit, bro. And I be listening to some of my stories and motherfuckers be like, God damn, dog, for real? You know what I'm saying? Like I remember telling this one woman, you know, we just talking, she overheard the conversations. She come and give me a hug and start crying. I'm like, man, what you doing? You tripping? Like, I'm good. She like, baby, that shit not normal. You know what I'm saying? But you know, that's the environment we grew up in, bro. So most people that say and make judgments, you have no idea what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Like you've been under a rock. So it's easy for you to say, yeah, you know what I'm saying, y'all shouldn't be doing this, or y'all animals, or y'all living like this. But you grew up in the 3-4 bedroom house, you know what I'm saying, eating steaks and potatoes, you know what I'm saying, you know, 3-course meals every day. You know what I'm saying? You don't, you know, you don't got no
graduate
idea.
graduate with a $50,000 trust fund. You get it when you 18.
You feel me? You feel me, bro?
Come on.
Easy. Like so you don't have no idea. And I'm not hating on you, because that's what's up. That's good. I'm glad you move on, man. Do something to help us back here. You know what I'm saying? Don't look down and judge and be like, pick yourself up. Nah, man. Like, do something. You know what I'm saying? Do something, bro. Yeah, but I don't know, man. It be you. We get criticized by our own people, bro. You know what I'm saying? You know, bad enough. We all got a common enemy. right? We all got a common enemy, bro. Then you won't look them. Then we beef with each other behind some nonsense.
Hey, you think Silky gonna get his get back tomorrow?
Who you got him going up against?
He going up against Lucifer.
Oh man, nah, I ain't gonna lie. He ain't ready for Lucifer, dog. He ain't ready for Lucifer.
You see the debate topic?
I sit kind of in the way. I couldn't really. I said all the Berbers before the Eurasians. Oh, I
Yeah.
don't know, man. But you know, you know, yeah, man. If Silky come with it, he can win this. If he, you know, what I'm saying? He can win this, bro. You know what I'm saying? Silky can win
Right.
this. You
Right.
know, if he, you know, just don't trip out and do no, you know, he got. I think he got this. He finally got him one. He about to get him one for real. But you know, Silky will fuck around and man.
Take
Damn. Yeah, if
Let's take
he
you
might.
back.
Yeah, this is
Let's take
shit. He
you
fuck
back.
with the Berbers. He might have. He might got a win on his belt right with this one. But it depends on how he come, bro. You know.
Right. Right.
No, if going off of if he used some of the shit I seen in the past, he used, he might be able to. You know what I'm saying? He might be able to get away with it. I don't know. I hope he do, bro. Because if you lose this one, how can you lose this one, bro? Just going off the title. Oh, the Berbers before the Eurasians. All right, man. Come on, Silky. I'm pulling for you, dog.
Come on, Silk. Come on, Silk. Gonna see what you got.
Go to work. Yeah, he's supposed to eat this one. He's supposed to go to work on this one.
Right.
You know, he's supposed to. Yeah.
Superstar.
Facts.
Who shiesty mask?
Fact. Fact. This really supposed to be like an easy kill for him, dog. Like, you know, easy one. You know.
Hey, you know, we got that debate. Is it more to say fuck the elders? That one coming in 3 weeks, in 2 weeks. How you feel about that?
Is it morally okay to say fuck the elders?
Yeah.
Man, nah,
Like
man.
Diop shaking his bro.
Absolutely not, dog. Absolutely not. The fuck? What? Come on, man. Come on, man. That's right.
Walter Williams, Renoko Rashidi, James Smalls, Infidisi,
Man, come on, man. Who
my nigga
could,
D say absolutely not.
man, who could be on the other side of that saying that's okay? Like, I don't even. Now I get it. You know what I'm like, bro. Like, you gotta understand. We standing on the foundation that they made for us, bro.
Right.
You know, they the ones who pushed this needle and gave us that point of reference to keep going and keep building off this work. Without them, we wouldn't have, you know what I'm saying? We wouldn't be where we at right now. Yeah, now granted, things change. More information come out, right? Where, you know, they use what they had to get to information that they got, right? And they maintain what they believe. And of course, it's 2025. Yeah, it's new information come out. So, but we built it off of what they came with, bro. So to say fuck them is absolutely crazy, dog.
Right.
That's like whoever saying, yeah, that's like me going, whoever saying it's okay to say that. My question to them is, if I see your grandma or your grandpa and I say, man, fuck that bitch. How you gonna feel, dog?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man, let's keep it real. Even if they didn't do anything, like saying fuck the elders is you out of line, partner. You out of line, my boy. You out of line. Then on top of the man, come on, bro. You what? Shake? Infodesic? Like what? Dr. Benton, like, come on, man. Without them, but you wouldn't be where you at right now. You wouldn't even know. You wouldn't even know about the original Jews or the so-called original Jews. You wouldn't even know that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't even know about the Ethiopians, right? The first Coptic church and shit. You wouldn't know about that. Without Sheikh Anta Diop, you wouldn't know. They'll still be pushing saying Kemet is not in Africa.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Without that, bro, like, so come on, bro, we gotta stop it. You know what I'm saying? We gotta stop. You gotta pay homage to them. Everything they say was right. Nah, we know that for a fact because we got new information now. But come on now. Come on now. Y'all niggas out of control, dog. Niggas out of control.
We gotta do better. All right, let's look up let's check because you got goofy niggas saying aliens built the pyramids. Niggas don't want to give us our credit. So let's check this out. All right, Khufu, OG Khufu, king of Egypt, flourished 25th dynasty BCE, was the second king of the fourth dynasty, 2543-2536 BCE of Egypt, and builder of the Great Pyramid of Giza, the largest single building to that time. It and two nearby pyramids are collectively known as the Pyramids of Giza. Khufu's reign and that of his son Khafre was represented by the Greek historian Herodotus as 106 years of oppression and misery, but this was belied by Khufu's posthumous reputation in Egypt as wise ruler. Herodotus' story of Khufu's prostitution of his daughter in order to raise money for his building projects is nearly apocryphal. Although few written sources remain, it is known that Khufu was the son of successor King Seneferu and his queen Hetepheres, and was probably married 4 times to Meretíades, who was buried in one of the 3 small pyramids beside his own, to a second wife whose name is unknown, to Hanetsin, whose small pyramid is the third of the group, and to Nefertiti, the eldest of Seneferu's daughters. 2 of his sons, Redjedef and Khafre, succeeded in his turn. All right, I'm gonna get some more information about Khafre, but we gotta do our information on the OGs. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna do our information on the OGs. We'll be listening to goofies. All right, Khafre, 2566 BCE, Black Egypt, possibly the most famous Old Kingdom pharaoh. Khufu was the second pharaoh of the fourth dynasty. His full name is Protector by Khnum. The Greeks called him Sufis or Cheops. Existing records show that he could have reigned anywhere from 23 to 34 years. Manetho, a 3rd century BCE historian, even suggested a reign of 63 years. He is believed to have extended the borders of Egypt into the Sinai. Khufu is also generally believed to be the builder of the Great Pyramid of Giza, which is the largest pyramid ever built and the first in the Giza complex. Egypt is prospered under the pharaohs of the 4th dynasty, which is why they are able to fund their massive building projects. Khufu was succeeded by his son, Jedefre, whose reign was quite short, and then by Khafre, another of his sons. Khafre was the builder of the second Giza pyramid. All right. So we got my don't forget OG Khufu. This Black Egypt. We talking 4th dynasty. This is Black Egypt. We talking 4th dynasty, 2000 BCE, before the Arab, Ottoman, Cracker, restitution process, before all of that. All right, I'm gonna share my screen for the pseudos start coming at my neck. But the pseudo start coming at my neck. Uncle JJ is in the building. All right, G. How you feel about the cracker saying aliens built the pyramids, and we got my boy Khufu right here showing you, nigga, I'm the GOAT. Why my wives in these pyramids right next to mine, nigga?
Man, we already know, but I can't believe they if they were smart, they would just go ahead and take that down. Like I can't believe they even still standing on that when we know we got the information with the people. We know we know who built it and how they built it. We know and that's here go to another point. When you start saying fuck the elders, without the elders, we will still be believing this shit that the crackers saying. Aliens built it. Oh man, it had to be something from out of this world coming out, but so you gotta give props to the elders. We know who built it and we know how they built it. Right? There was before their time, bro. They was geniuses. But back then, you gotta understand. Back then, bro, they was able to use 100% of their brain, bro. They way smart. They was on another level, dog. You know what I'm saying? So we know who built it and how they built it. So for anybody to still run around and say aliens had to build the pyramids is crazy. And you're probably a Christian because you believe in this old spooky shit. You believing in aliens and shit. Like I don't know. I don't know. It's crazy to me.
All right. Let's go to 3rd century. Let's check out some 3rd century cats. We got my boy Doja, OG Doja. They knocked Doja nose off. Let's look at what Doja looked like, by the way. They knocked King Doja nose off. Look at OG. Look at OG Doja. 3rd dynasty, by the way. Black Egypt. 3rd dynasty. Black Egypt. 3rd dynasty. Black Egypt. That look like goddamn George Gervin. All right, let's keep going. Doja was the first king of the 3rd dynasty, 2592, 2566 BCE, before the Arab of ancient Egypt, who undertook the construction of the earliest important stone building in Egypt. His reign was marked by great technological advances and innovation in the use of stone architecture. His minister Amhotep, a talented architect and physician, was himself deified in later periods. Okay, we gotta look up Imhotep. Doja was related to the last ruler of the 2nd dynasty through his mother. With the help of Amhotep, the king erected a funerary complex outside of Memphis, built entirely of stone. The innovative structure was a departure from the traditional use of mud bricks along with stone. The greatest advance, however, was a complete alteration of the shape of the monument from a flat top rectangular structure known as mastaba to a 6-step pyramid. Surrounding the step pyramid were a large number of limestone buildings intended to represent shrines used for royal rituals. The style of architecture of these buildings reproduced the minutest detail of wood, reed, brick forms employed in utilitarian construction of Egypt. The complex pyramid was enclosed by a wall with a single entrance at the southeast corner of the precinct. All right, so they go King. It's King Doja. Let's look now. King Doja got the step pyramid. This 3rd dynasty, gang. This 3rd dynasty, gang. This is what we was doing. Architecture. You won't find that nowhere else still standing. All right, now let's go to Amhotep. I want to see what Amhotep is about. Let's see what OG talk about. It says, Imhotep, born 27th or 26th century BCE in Egypt, was a vizier, sage, architect, astrologer, and chief minister to Doja, the first king of Egypt's third dynasty, who was later worshipped as the god of medicine in Egypt and in Greece, where he is identified with the Greek god of medicine. He is considered to have been the architect of the step pyramid at the necropolis in the city of Memphis. Ah, damn, I can't even read. All right, let's go look up Imhotep. They say Imhotep was the god of medicine.
Facts. That's a fact. And can't unless somebody could show me it, I'm willing to switch my stance on that until somebody could show me someone else that predates Imhotep with the medicine. Please come forth and show me. Until then, I'm forced to maintain again the ancient Cometics was the ones that showed the world about medicine,
Oh yeah,
mathematics,
that's a fact.
the alphabet, like,
Hey, Egypt taught the world everything.
and we just built off of it, bro, and made it better. But the basis of it, bro, like them people gave the world the first alphabet, first mathematics, the first medicine. So, you feel me? So like, man, come on, Africans been great, man, been great. And I don't know why it's so hard. Before you move on, I don't want to keep on going, but I don't know why it's so hard for people to like acknowledge it and it just be you supposed to be happy for that. That's part of you. You know what I'm saying? That's your 30, 40, 50 cousins.
All right, now let me show you why you can't think like a white man. If you black, you can't think like a white man. You're doing yourself a disservice. Let me show you why. Imhotep was a revered healer, architect, high priest, sage, and advisor to King Doja. Born a commoner, Imhotep became preeminent in his time in many fields. What we know of his life is fascinating. Scholars think that he was born in Unctal, a suburb of Memphis, or Gibelline, a village south of Thebes, in the 27th century BCE. He was born on the 16th day of Epiphany, the third month of harvest. His father may have been another architect. Canoper, his mother, may have been from the province of Mendes. Now, watch this. This is why you don't think like a cracker, because they don't understand us. It is believed Imhotep served under as many as 4 kings. His burial place is not known after his death, although likely is somewhere in Saqqara. It is a prize yet to be found. Now check this out: archaeological evidence. Historians thought Imhotep to be a mythical figure until when, G?
19th century CE.
Come on, man. This is why you don't think like a cracker. This is why you can't think like a cracker. They just figuring out this shit. So we supposed to believe everything. We supposed to take everything they say at face value. They just found this shit out 20 years ago that the nigga real.
The crack is dead. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
But again,
look.
though, without Dr. Ben.
My bad. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, nah, I don't mean to interrupt you. Right, they just figured this out 20 years ago. But without Dr. Ben, Shake the Dio, right?
Come on.
All of the elders that been put their life, did this work. You know what I'm saying? They whole life.
Come on.
We been through this. We been through this. You know what I'm saying? So and they gotta say that they gotta push they mythological characters, because we know the Bible, the characters in the Bible is mythological.
Facts.
You know what I'm
Facts.
saying?
They want us to be like them.
Facts.
Because they
And
know they can't be like us.
also they want us to believe that they the ones who invented all this You know what I'm saying? Because if they just come out and say it, hey, well, it really was the Africans, then they got to knock down all the lies. They got to take back all the lies that ever been told to us, right? It wasn't the Greeks. When we know the Greeks pretty much told us verbatim. I'm paraphrasing, but they told us, nah, we went sat at the feet of the Egyptians. That's how they told us this.
Hey, look, it say historians thought Imhotep to be a mythical figure until the late 19th century. C.E. Wilbur discovered the famine stele in 1890 carved in granite at the upper cataract of the Nile River near Aswan. The stele records a 7-year famine during the time of King Doja, also known as Zoja, and names Imhotep as chief priest and architect to the king. It tells how he aided the king in ending the famine. It also credits him as the architect of the first known pyramid along with its surrounding complex, the Step Pyramid. Archaeologists discovered more evidence of his existence on a pedestal of a statue of King Doja, now known as Cairo JE 49889. The carving names Imhotep as Chancellor of the King of Lower Egypt, the first one under the king, the administrator of the great mansion, the hereditary noble, the high priest of Heliopolis, the chief sculptor of the chief carpenter. Man, come on, man, don't play with game. As an architect, Imhotep's skill was legendary. The Step Pyramid is the oldest of the seven wonders of the ancient world. It was the first pyramid built, as well as the first structure of any kind of cut stone. Finished in only 20 years, it stands almost 200 feet tall. Built of 6 huge steps, they are a giant staircase for the king to climb after his death on the way to the sun god Ra. Come on, man. Come on, man. Now we talking 200, we talking 2600 BCE. We talking 4,000, we talking 4,500, 5,000 years ago. Before the Arab, before the Ottoman, before the Ottoman. As a physician, he was unique in his time. Imhotep's writings are the first to reject magic for healing with illness based on a premise that illness was caused by the environment rather than the gods. Imhotep is believed to be the original author of the content of the Edwin Smith papyrus, the earliest known writing of medicine. Look at this shit. You gonna put a cracker name on my writing of medicine? Look at this shit, G. You put a cracker name on my work.
Crazy work, dog. That's crazy work.
You put a cracker name in the damn 1900s on my work. Man, he crack. Wow. The papyrus include information on trauma surgery, anatomy, and contains the first known description of cranial sutures, the external surface of the brain, and cerebral spinal fluid. It also contains the diagnosis, treatment, and prognosis of 48 medical issues. It is the earliest writing explaining trepanation, a means of relieving pressure on the brain. Man, so we was doing surgery, gang. 4,500. Look at this shit. This
Years
is step.
ago, dog.
Come
Years
on.
ago, we
Come
had
on.
brain surgeons. Like, come on.
Imhotep is the first known physician to have extracted medicine from plants. He is credited with the diagnosis and treatment of over 200 medical issues. Sir William Osler, the father of modern medicine, called him the first figure of a physician to stand out clearly from his mist of antiquity. You got a cracker giving us credit. Sir William Osler, the father of modern medicine? Who is he?
Who
Who is
we get it?
he?
Who?
Go ahead.
Yeah, nah. I'm just piggybacking on what you saying. The so-called European, a so-called white boy crack or whatever you want to call it, right? What did you just read? Did he just give credit to Imhotep? Come on, man. Let's stop talking crazy, bro. We gotta stop it.
Now this is all. Now see this right here. This ain't no. I fed thousands with 4 loaves of bread and fish. This ain't no walking on water. No, this is giving you step by step on what to do when you get fucked up. This is teaching you how to do brain surgery. Let me go back up and show y'all what that shit just said. It also contains the diagnosis, treatment, and prognosis of 48 medical issues. It says it contained the first known description of cranial sutures, the external surface of the brain, and cerebral spinal fluid. It contains information on trauma surgery anatomy. Like, come on.
Man,
Like,
you cooking. Wavy, you cooking, dog. You cooking, dog. Don't do it to him. Don't do it to him on the Easter weekend, dog. Don't do it to him on Easter weekend, dog. Nigga, this is the real Moses.
Fuck them eggs.
Moses.
Fuck them eggs. Fuck that rabbit. Fuck that rabbit,
bro. Facts. Imhotep, the real Jesus, bro. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. He saved. He was saved. He saved, nigga. He the one saved. Fags, bro. Imhotep, the real Jesus, bro.
He saved. They say he saved Egypt from a 20-year famine.
Facts. Then think about he really saved more than that, because what we know now, bro, is based off of his philosophy.
Facts.
He gave the blueprint. Gave the blueprint.
OG. Medicine God. And architect God, because he built the first pyramids.
He gave the blueprint, bro.
He the blueprint. Imhotep as a deity. The deification of Imhotep began shortly after his death, with the statue of medical demigod only 1 century later. The Persians conquered Egypt in 525 BC. All right, now look. This whole time, gang, we've been talking about 2500 BCE. This whole time. Now, what I'm reading right now is 2,000 years later, the Persians conquered Egypt. 2,000 years later. All the black people had been, nigga, they didn't bred in with the Arabs. They went south. Nigga, they went to goddamn Sudan. Nigga, they left, nigga. Don't let these goofies play y'all. We talking about something from 2500 BCE. The Persians came in 500 BC. Now let's see what happened. Let's see what happened though. The Persians conquered Egypt in 525 BC. People began worshiping him as a god then, one of only 2 mortals ever given this distinction. His temple was in Memphis, where he placed Nefertim in the great triad of Ptah, Sekhmet, and Amhotep. The Turan Conan lists him as the son of Ptah, the creator god. Tamehotep, who lived during the reign of Ptolemy VII, recorded on her stele that she prayed to Imhotep, son of Ptah, and hey G, you gotta read this. Ah shit, it's getting ugly. It's getting ugly. It's getting ugly. It's getting ugly. All right, it's a Tamehotep who lived during the reign of Ptolemy VII, recorded on her stele that she prayed to Imhotep, son of Ptah, and birthed a son. So Tamehotep, this is a woman that's living in a time during the Greeks. What it looked like she practiced an indigenous understanding. Let's look up Tamehotep. Damn, they got her on Assassin's Creed. Okay. Tamhotep was an ancient Egyptian woman known from two stelae made during the reign of Cleopatra. Okay, so this is so she was an Egyptian woman. So she probably was a 50-50, but she still was praying to Ptah. All right, it says Tamhotep worshiped Isis, Osiris, Horus, Anubis, and a symbol of the West. The text on the stele is 21 lines long and tells of Tamhotep's life. She was born in the ninth regnal year. Her father, Kaphapi, a priest of Ptah, her mother, Harak, a musician of the Ptah temple. She had a brother high priest and a sister who married each other. A further possible brother is the scribe Hormhotep. Let me see. After the birth of her third daughter, she prayed to Imhotep, an old kingdom sage who was deified in later centuries for a son. Her prayer was answered and her son was born in 46 BCE. Imhotep died 4 years later. On her stele, Imhotep laments her untimely death and asks her husband to enjoy life while he can. This is the longest ancient Egyptian text of its kind. From her husband two steles, it is known that he survived his wife by only 1 year. Their son Amhotep Petabas became high priest of Ptah in 39 BCE, but died young only 9 years later. Damn, AG, it say on her stele, she laments on her timely death and asks her husband to enjoy life while he can. Damn, that shit deep. That shit deep.
Yeah, that was heavy. That was heavy.
That shit deep. And they say he died a year later. That shit deep right there.
So
That's
that
deep.
was too, bro. Powerful woman like that, man. Nah, that won't go.
That's deep. All right. Imhotep was say he was thought to be okay, hold on, I think we've seen all this. First to extract medicine from plants, first known to have used columns to support a building. Imhotep was the first master architect known by man. He authored an architectural encyclopedia used by his peers for millennia. Man, what?
Dope.
Oh, this the builder god.
He was that dude.
So he was the medicine god and the builder god.
Man, he was like that. He was like that. A brother, so-called African. When we look over there and see it, them people, he was one of
All right, now let's see what OG Hotep look like.
What a picture they gonna try to paint.
Yeah, they're gonna throw you off and show you 50 Arab. But look right here, what he is right here though.
That's a
what
brother.
He is right there.
Yeah, absolutely, brother. Black,
what color he
purple. He like my stepdad, yeah.
What color he is right?
Right. My stepdad, that boy look purple, yeah.
What color he is right there though?
That's a brother, man.
Cairo Museum. I'm Hotep seated. Look at that edge up.
That's a brother.
That Bobby Brown.
That's a brother, boy.
Don't play with us.
And look, they put the white boy up there bald headed because he ain't got no line. So
Right.
they had it. You hear me? Come on, man. Look at that. Come on, man. That was a brother, man.
Don't do it. Don't play with us.
Nigga, that was them boy been wearing perms. Them boy been wearing the you hear me?
The Cairo Museum. Bus. Brown. Bus. All right, let's get back. Man, we ain't playing with these niggas tonight.
Yeah, you cooking. You cooking, Wave.
First physician known to reject magic and look to science to heal. Hold up, I thought it was the white man science.
That was heavy.
Hold up.
The first. Read that. Hold on. Let me read it.
I thought we had
First,
to go to London.
man, they say first physician known to reject magic and look to science.
So he was following the white man's science in 2500 BC, in 2600 BCE.
Man, that's heavy, dog.
Don't play with us. Don't play with us.
That's
Born
heavy.
a commoner in the 27th century BC. So he was born in the 2600s. Are you telling me he the first physician to reject magic and look to science? What science was he following, y'all?
Mm. Like they say in the church, well, you preaching today, bro. That boy cooking.
Come on, man. They want us to forget who he is and go backwards. All right. Let me see. Let me unshare my screen and see what how the people feeling. Yeah, this ain't we can go to the 25th dynasty. No, nigga, we at the 3rd and 4th dynasty. Don't make me go to the first, second pre-dynasty. Once we start getting to them teens, yeah, you're gonna start seeing some invasions. Yeah, you're gonna start seeing the crackers. I mean, you're gonna start seeing the Arabs. We understand that, but we talking about first, second, third, fourth, fifth. What them people look like? Why these white people coming later saying that they learned from them? We gotta make that make sense. All right, let me see. All right, we're gonna go to the first intermediate period. Middle Kingdom. Yeah, man. Hey, man. We gonna save a whole bunch. We got a lot in the bag. It's a lot in the bag. It's a whole bunch in the bag. But we gotta drop little droplets off. That's why you can't never. That's why you can't never click off the show, because you might catch 5 more droplets. You know what I'm saying? When you close your eyes or you take a bite, you might catch 5 more. You know what I'm saying? Quick facts at you. You know what I'm saying? Um, they need to eradicate. Oh yeah, we gotta. I think what's the other debate we got? Oh yeah, Yah is debating Lucifer too, and the title of that show gonna be the title of that debate gonna be um are the ancient Chinese African genetically? How you feel about that, G? Or Asian people?
Oh man, you know I seen. Well, I already know about. I was already familiar with the ancient tribe. Hold on. Yeah, that's the right foot right there. I was already aware of the indigenous tribe that migrated to that geographical location, right? And then you got this so-called Chinese scientist, right? Was trying to find out what was going on. So he done a DNA test, and his DNA test came back to the indigenous tribe that migrated to that certain geographical location, bro. So it's gonna be kind of hard for somebody to get around that when you got the person saying out their mouth, "Look, I did my DNA, and my DNA is tracing back to the African continent, to these so-called indigenous, or to this indigenous tribe of people that been here for thousands of years, right? And they still live there today." So man, it's gonna be hard to get around that, man. And I don't even. It's like suicide. I don't even know why he would even, But that's how we is, bro. We, some of us, we just know everything, right? So You know, and then we try to debunk the reality, right? Because we want to be Hebrews and we want to be Muslims, right? We want to be Christians and we want to be this and but African, right? But hey man, debate. I'm definitely tapping in, right? Tap the brother. He gonna come with the information. It's gonna be hard to refute that. It's gonna be hard to, especially it's an indigenous tribe there. One, two, we have the so-called Chinese brother, and his DNA proving that his lineage goes continent. So, that's gonna be a good one. I like watching First 48, you know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be a First 48 on your channel again. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, it won't be Sickle D this time.
Uh-oh. All right. It says,
Shake.
you know who that is. Okay, don't that look like everybody got an uncle that look like this? Your damn great grandfather,
Facts.
your grandfather look like this. All you gotta do is go look at your grandmother's pictures.
Facts. Facts.
Pharaonic Egypt is an African civilization developed in Africa by Africans. What seems obvious today, except perhaps for Nicholas Sarkozy and his monkeys, has long been passed over in silence or even openly denied by the Egyptology developed in European laboratories. We owe it to the scientist, historian, and anthropologist and politician Sheikh Anta Diop for having given what belongs to Africa back to Africa. All right, let's check out a little bit of this. Sheikh Anta Diop, he said, relying on ancient and contemporary European sources on pharaonic iconography, linguistics, invoking craniometry, the study of blood groups and skin pigmentation, Anta Diop asserted that the Egyptian population was Negro during the pre-dynastic period and that it was the same during the dynastic period, that of the pharaohs, wherever the indigenous racial type is rendered with any degree of clarity, it appears to be what?
Negroid.
So y'all was laughing at my boy y'all for saying Negroid. Y'all was laughing at my boy y'all for saying Negroid last week. He get it. If he get it from OG Sheikh Anta Diop, we just gotta respect that. All right, let's keep going. The typically Negroid features of the pharaohs Narmer First Dynasty, the founder of the line of pharaohs Doja Third Dynasty. With him, all the technological elements of Egyptian civilization were already in place. Cheops, builder of the Great Pyramid of Cameroonian type, showed that all the classes of Egyptian society belonged to the same what?
Talk that talk.
Belonged to the same what, G?
Black race.
Come on, man. Don't play with OG Uncle Diop. We don't play by
Nah.
Uncle Diop.
Nah, Diop was Diop was like I say, but Diop he wanted to we standing what we know now. If it wasn't for Diop, we wouldn't have had a point of reference to build off of. So did he know? Because science don't never stay the same. So we know things change, and over time we get new information. But without Diop, come on, bro. Like we gotta. So to say fuck the elders is absolutely asinine, and niggas really out of their mind. Whoever say some dumb ass shit like that.
Check this out. Diop going up against all crackers. In 1908, as colonial expansion accelerated, Hachet's sixth grade French manual taught there is much discussion of the origin of Egyptians. The most competent Egyptologist, M. Maspero in particular, considered them to be a people of mixed blood, but where Semitic blood dominates, that is to say, the blood of the descendants of Shem, son of Noah. The Egyptians therefore came from Asia, whereas the Greeks believed they came from Africa, from the southern countries, and from Ethiopia. So the Greeks knew these damn crackers, Europeans, they came and fucked it up. The Greeks knew. Blame it on your modern day education. In 1954, Diop brought back to the forefront of Egyptology those testimonies of the time of Westerners who, from Herodotus to Strabo, mention the black skin and the African ancestry of the ancient Egyptians. Sheikh Anta Diop's contribution is to have thrown a spanner in the works and forced scientific circles to consider this question more carefully, if only to try to contradict it, continues the paleontologist. Today, no one denies the strong African influence of the constitution of the Egyptian civilization, nor its ancient settlement from the sub-Saharan belt. At the time of the rise of the monsoons toward the north around 10,000 BC. But we must put this into perspective and also take into account the important role played by the cultures of the Negev and the Nile Delta that were oriented toward the Levant. In 1960, Sorbonne finally granted Diop a doctorate for the thesis he had been enabled to submit a decade earlier. Nevertheless, the academic world, both Western and Egyptian, for a long time ignored him and sometimes treated him with contempt. Now look at this. AG, talking about race, scientific racism, political politics, scientific politics.
Nah, that's a fact.
Look what it say. It say in 1960. Let's look at what year Diop died. Watch this shit. Okay. So they gave him his flowers. And check this out. In 1960, Sorbonne finally granted Anta Diop a doctorate for the thesis he had been unable to submit a decade later. He had been unable to submit a decade earlier. Like, what is that's redlining in a scientific community? How is that not redlining in it? How is that not black? Did they just blackball our OG?
Most definitely did. You know what I'm saying? He been banging on him, you know what I'm saying? He was a threat to him, bro. He was a threat to him. So that's how you gotta take consideration what he was saying for, you know, they ain't acknowledge his work for what? It took down there, what, 40 years?
They playing games. It says, will the exponential progress of technology, especially in the field of genetics, make it possible to definitively settle the debate of the origins and physical appearance of the ancient Egyptians? In his chapter, General History of Africa, Diop called for a thorough analysis of mummies' melanin grains and blood types, which he believed would confirm a sub-Saharan Negroid ancestry and appearance. In 1985, a year after the publication of his book, a researcher succeeded in studying the DNA of a mummified Egyptian child. However, it took years of progress before paleogenetics could be developed in the 2010s. The first discoveries of this new discipline have sometimes contradicted and sometimes confirmed Diop's conclusion. In 2017, scientists from the Max Planck Institute in Germany published the conclusion of their genetic research of 151 mummies from the New Empire to the Roman Empire. Now, from the New Empire to the Roman, what happened to this is the end of the Pharaonic era? The hell is this? The 20th dynasty? Let's keep going. Our analysis revealed that the ancient Egyptians shared more ancestry with Near Easterners than contemporary Egyptians who received the sub-Saharan. In contrast, in 2018, British geneticists discovered that the Cheddar Man, like other Mesolithic congeners unearthed in Europe, had dark skin, frizzy hair, blue eyes. Further sequencing now suggests that between 40,000 BCE and 6,000 BCE, the inhabitants of Europe had dark skin and hair, far from European school images, which seems to confirm Diop's thesis of a recent settlement of Eurasia by Africa.
Gotta drop a bomb, dog, on that
Come
one.
on.
Man, so that go back to what
You doing?
hold on, niece. That go back to the little debate you had the other day, right? We know we migrated out, right? We migrated out of Africa, right? Thousands of years, right? So when you say something, so the genetics changed, I gotta ask, change from what? And you would then have to be forced to say, well, the genetics changed from Africa. They was Africans at one. So at the end of the day, whether they come home and they change, they were still Africans.
Or you're gonna be forced to say dark people was fucking dark people, basically.
Dog people is dog people.
But
I mean, you got to think about it. When you talking
dark
about
people, hey G, you basically gonna be forced to say dark people was fucking dark people.
facts, you can't get around that.
I say paleo, and this where I think science is being racist at, because we can go to the moon, we could go to the moon, we could we could we could catch a rocket ship in the air. We building planes the size of a goddamn school. But look, paleogenetics is going to change many things, but it is not yet advanced enough to be able to offer physiognomic details. So no one can say when and under what influences the Negroid features did a Diop appear. Now, you telling me you got the science to handle everything else, but you can't find out if the ancient Egyptians had Negroid features or not. Science ain't caught up.
That's that pseudo shit.
Nah, y'all got the technology. Y'all just ain't testing them motherfuckers. Y'all only going to the 18th, the maybe the 16th, 17th, 18th, back door with the 20th, 21st, 23rd, and then start going to some new kingdom shit. Romans and the Greeks.
But like what you had read before you got to the British experiment, they admitted they did a study on 151 mummies and what they got from them 151 mummies, right, is going off. Hold on, my baby. Hold on, give me 1 second. Going off the 151 mummies that they tested, it goddamn is saying what Diop said. But then when you get to the British, keyword British, they switch it up.
They basically saying going off the 151 mummies that they would have been more near Eastern than sub-Saharan African. But you got to look at the time date of these 151 mummies. It's our new kingdom, and it said during the Greek period.
Oh, okay, yeah, I see what you're saying.
So they being biased. Like, why we not testing Norma? Why we not testing
Nah.
Doja?
Right. Imhotep, right? Yeah. I see what you're
The
saying.
explorations of the origins of humanity has only just begun, and its surprises have not ended, both at the Dakar School and at the College de France. Egypt belongs only to itself, but it was formed on African soil by African people, and the whole part of this southern. Mute up for me real quick, G.
Oh yeah, my bad.
And the whole of its southern part at the gateway to Sudan has been for thousands of years its most dynamic region, the cradle of its ideological construction and its monarchy. For us, this is the obvious fact, but perhaps it needs to be made clear to the general public. He recommends starting with schools where the youngest students still hold a real fascination for the pharaohs. All right, let me see. Sheikh Anta Diop was a pioneer in the decolonization of the history and reevaluation of the African historical narrative. However, he remains banned from school curricula and university refused to discuss his work. Yet this task might not be so daunting. They hating on Diop. They don't even talk about it.
Facts.
Hating on OG.
Said he banned from the putting him in the school. Like, come on, dog.
Cause
Come on,
he
bro.
went there and cracked them crackers over the head.
But like you say, that's that red. That's the red lining of the information.
Right.
You hear me? That's the red lining of the. You know what I'm saying? Education, dog. They don't want you to know that. They don't even want you to get that idea. You understand what I'm saying? Egypt, because they know how powerful Egypt was. And they know her, and like you said, hereditary, the Greek, everybody praised, what's his name, hereditary or Herodotus. And he the one who told us, man, nah, I wouldn't say at the feet of the Egyptians. So yeah, they gonna hate on Diop. They gonna hate on Dr. Ben. They gonna hate on uh, Professor James Smalls, John Henry Clark, you know, man, the list goes on, bro. They gonna hate on all of them, bro. They not gonna put that work in the school curriculum, which they should, but they not. Cause at the point you do, now you telling black children y'all history don't start as slavery. Cause you gotta think of the long as we've been growing up, all we knew was we came over here on boats as slaves. So that does something to the mind, bro. Right? You understand what I'm saying? But then you start telling kids, nah, y'all was running the world. Like people can't sit at y'all feet. People come done trades with y'all. Like y'all was how America and China is today. That's what the Kemet was at that time. You hear me?
Yeah.
So when you start telling black kids that, now they start seeing themselves as kings and queens and you know what I'm saying? Not just slaves, bro.
Right.
So yeah, you know they like you said it perfect. I never heard that analogy before. But yeah, that's the red lining of the education, bro.
Right. Let me see. It was something he had did. Let me see the melanin test. I think. Let me see. It was something he did that scientists do right now. It's like a breakthrough. Let me see.
Oh, Diop?
Yeah, he had did something where like you could extract DNA
Yeah.
from I think it's from the leg. I gotta find a bone marrow or something like that. Let me find it. Let me see. I think it's it right here. Let me see. It should say Egyptians had tattoos. They crazy. All right, let me find it. It say modern DNA studies. Yeah. Oh wait, 2 6. It says modern DNA studies of ancient Egyptian mummies, including those using bone marrow samples, have yielded some findings that support Diop's claim, such as the presence of maternal lineage markers linked to sub-Saharan Africa. However, other findings have contradicted his assertion, indicating more complex population histories than Diop initially asserted. All right, let me share my screen. Put this on the screen. Boop, 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 boop. Oh, this is basically what it's saying right here.
Yeah. So yeah, you know, cause this is before DNA. This is before DNA time, and we didn't have that. So right, so we got DNA now. So that's why I say some what you know what he used. Yeah. So it's gonna the information may change now because we got DNA now. But at that time, we wasn't using DNA, right? So yeah, you could go ahead and build. And they say I'll read it. They say modern DNA studies of ancient Egyptian mummies, including those using bone marrow samples, have yielded some findings that support Diop's claims, such as the presence of maternal lineage markers linked to sub-Saharan Africa. However, other findings have contradicted his assertions, indicating more complex population histories than Diop initially proposed. So yeah, so now we know through DNA, we know that it was other people came through there. However, you can't get past the like you say the first dynasty, the second dynasty, third dynasty. We know that was originally African, bro. Now, yeah, we know now with through DNA, we know the Persians and the Hyksos and the Romans and the Arabs. We know they all hit it, right? So yeah, it's gonna be some mixing. The DNA is gonna change up, but uh, in any event, we know the first people that built that civilization on that land was Africans.
And that looked like goddamn Lance Stevenson.
Our good brother, you hear me? Our brother.
Diop argued that there was a shared cultural continuity across African people that was more important than the very development of different ethnic groups shown by differences among languages and cultures over time. Let me see. All right, in 1954, Diop argued that the ancient Egypt had been populated by black people. He specified that he used the terms Negro, black, white, and race as intermediate givens in the Bergsonian sense, and went on to suggest operational definitions of these terms. He said that the Egyptian language and culture had later been spread to West Africa when he published many of his ideas as the book Negro Nations and Culture. It made him one of the most controversial historians of his time. In 1956, he re-registered a new proposed thesis for a Doctor of Letters with the title The Area and Matriarchy and Patriarchy in Ancient Times. From 1956, he taught physics and chemistry in two Paris lycees as an assistant master before moving to the Collège de France. Diop served as a member of UNESCO International Scientific Committee for the drafting of a general history of Africa in 1971 and wrote the opening chapter about the origins of the ancient Egyptians in the UNESCO General History of Africa. In this chapter, he presented anthropological and historical evidence in support of his hypothesis that ancient Egyptians had a close genetic affinity with sub-Saharan ethnic groups, including the shared B blood group between modern Egyptians and West Africans Negroid. Bodily portions in ancient Egyptian art and mummies, microscopic analysis of melanin levels in mummies from the laboratory of the Musée de l'Homme in Paris, primary accounts of Greek historians, and shared cultural linkages between Egypt and Africa in areas of totemism and cosmology. At the symposium, Diop's conclusions were met with an array of responses from strong objections to enthusiastic support. African-American historian John Henry Clark called Diop one of the greatest historians to emerge in the African world in the 20th century, noting that his theoretical approach derived from various disciples, including the hard sciences. Clark further added to his work, The African Origin of Civilization, Myth or Reality. Soy Quieta, a biological anthropologist, contended that his views, or some of them, have been seriously misrepresented, and he argued that there was linguistic, anthropological, and archaeological evidence which supported the views of Diop. The author also stated Diop, though he did not express it clearly, thought in terms of biogeography and biohistory for his definitions. He also defined populations in an ethnic or ethno-geographical fashion. Nile Valley population absorbed foreign genes, but this did not change their what, G?
Africanity. It didn't change their African
Come
boy
on.
at all.
Back migration ass niggas.
Facts. And this shit's silly. It's really silly, bro. But you know, I understand, right?
Y'all want to hear another expert? Stuart Tyson Smith, Egyptologist and professional of anthropology, University of Cal, Santa Barbara, regarded his work, The African Origin of Civilization, published in 1976, a highly influential work that rightly points out the African origins of Egypt's civilizations, but reinforces the methodological and theoretical foundations of colonialist theories of history, embracing racialist thinking and simply reversing the flow of delusionist models. Man, look at Stuart Tyson Smith.
Pull him up. See what he look like, Waver.
Pull him up. This nigga is man, did you see that last sentence? Stuart Tyson Smith. White boy. White man.
White boy. White boy. And he gave it up.
Gave it up.
And he gave it up.
Gave the cheese up. Let's go to his images. This your boy. This your boy. This your boy.
This your boy, though. Because you know they
love them.
Bro. If it don't come from them, it ain't stamped. You
now
know?
Look at what,
so it gotta be stamped.
Now look at what he said. Just a white man. He says, Sheikh Anta Diop, African Origin Civilization, 1974, a highly influential work that rightly points out the African origins of Egyptian civilization, but reinforces the methodological and theoretical foundations of. Now, check this out. Listen to this clearly, people that think it ain't no race science. Theoretical foundations of colonialist theories of history, embracing racialist thinking and simply reversing the flow of delusionist models. Now hold up. Let me see who else we got. Bethwell Allen Agat, a Kenyan historian, stated that Sheikh Anta Diop wrestled Egyptian civilization from the Egyptologists and restored it to the mainstream of African history. Did you hear that?
Heavy.
Sheikh Anta Diop wrestled.
A Kenyan.
He had to wrestle the Crackles for Egypt.
Facts. Man, he was banging. He was battling, but he was banging out with him. He was banging on them. They was banging on him. Like, he put his life on. He spent his life. You know what I'm saying? To show us and prove to us, like, You know, nah, that was Africans, bro. It wasn't Arabs. It wasn't
Come on.
Persians. It wasn't the Hyksos. It wasn't the Israelites. It wasn't the Christians. It wasn't the Catholics. It was simply Negroes, because that's the scientific term they was using at that time,
All right, now look.
which we'll use today as
Right.
blacks.
Diop was awarded the joint prize of the most influential African intellectual along with W.E. Du Bois at the first World Festival of Black Arts in 1966. He was awarded the Grand Prix de la Memoire of the GPLA in 2015. The Sheikh Anta Diop University, formerly known as University of Dakar in Senegal, is named in his honor. He got a whole damn university named after him, but you wanna disrespect him. Who is you, nigga? Nigga, don't you work at McDonald's? Nigga, don't you work at Jack in the Box? But you got the nerve to say something about the elder Sheikh Anta Diop.
That boss, man, he gotta leave that wet daddy alone. Whoever said that, boy, you gotta be on that. You gotta be on that wet daddy. You gotta
That
be
wet daddy.
that wet daddy, dog. You definitely just that sleep. You know what I'm saying?
We gotta do better. We gotta do better. This is right here is a living legend. Now let's go to John Henry Clark, because John Henry Clark was one of the ones too. You already know John Henry Clark was one of the ones. Oh, matter of fact, let me go to let me see. John Henry Clark. What he had to say about Egypt. All right. This is the civilization of barbarism. Places Sheikh Anta Diop. John Henry Clark Ford of Civilization of Barbarism placed Sheikh Anta Diop in his rightful place in the African American History Hall of Fame. Dr. Clark classifies Diop as one of the greatest scholars to emerge in the 20th century. All African people everywhere are closer to a better understanding of their history and destiny because of the personality and work of Sheikh Anta Diop. Let me see. Dr. Clark argued that Diop's greatest contribution to world history is that he forged new theoretical pathways and revealed new evidence in the quest to uncover the ancient origins and, unifying principles of, of classical African civilization. Diop has committed himself as an activist in the intellectual war against the normative discourse of the non-role of Africans in classical history. Diop thoroughly documented the role the African played in laying the foundation for civilization. Diop is the reason that Africans can say with fidelity that Grecian and Roman civilization is nothing more than an adaptation of Kemetic civilization. Okay, okay. Let me see, let me see. Let me see. Dr. Clark argues that The African origin of civilization is a reclaiming of Egypt as an African nation and its integral influence in African history. Dr. Clark explains the necessity of Diop's work as a restoration project, an attempt to restore what slavery and colonialism had what?
You cooking, dog.
Slavery and colonialism had taken away. This is why we can't be out here thinking white. This is why we can't be out here thinking white. Dr. Clark argues that civilization or barbarism is a direct response to the historical kidnapping of what? What they kidnapping, G?
Man, he say Egypt from Africa.
Goddamn.
And man, just to piggyback off that, right? Cause we always real quick. You always hear, well, Africans, they played a role in us. Oh, they played a role in us getting kidnapped, coming to the Western Americas, right? So now it make me believe, like, well, okay, so if the so-called Egyptians, ancient Kemet, migrated to West Africa, we would be considered the new tribe over there. So if we the new tribe in that Pacific spot in West Africa, and the white man pull up on, because you got to understand, by that point, West Africa doing their thing. They got their wars and stuff going on, right? Woo, they got their family and shit going on. It makes sense why the East Africans coming from Kemet will be the ones that get kidnapped. Cause we the newest tribe, per se, in in the West Africa. So if this tribe from West Africa been on the coast, they not gonna sell they people that they been rocking with, right? Been surviving with. They gonna sell out the newest tribe that came in. So this is my opinion. And going off of studies and with John Henry Clark just said, the historical kidnapping of Egypt from Africa. So when you say that, we know that we wasn't took from East Africa. We know that we was took from, our people was kidnapped from West Africa. So that forced me to believe that the people in ancient Kemet, ancient Egypt, what we call today, migrated to West Africa at some point.
At least we know they migrated out of there for sure.
Yeah, not for sure.
We ain't got no bodies of
No.
thousands of people in that water that they didn't build.
And I'll say migrated back out of there, because we know that they migrated there, right? We know that.
Hey, we was moving all the way. It wasn't no goddamn stop signs. It wasn't
nah.
They put, that's white man shit. That border shit, that's white man shit.
Yeah, that white man shit. We moved where we wanted to move. We moved how we were supposed to move based off how the cattle was moving, how the animals were moving, right? So it was plenty tribes from Africa migrated to East Africa, which we known as Kemet today. But everybody didn't move. So it was still people in West Africa on the coast. There was still people in South Africa, right? The southern part. But they wasn't, they was still, it's like today. In 2005, bro, we had to leave Louisiana. Boy, it's still some people was like, nah, I ain't leaving. We had no choice but to leave. But they still had people that still went back, bro, where they didn't have nothing. They didn't have nothing, bro. So I can only imagine at that time, everybody didn't migrate to Kemet. They still had people in West Africa. They still had people in South Africa.
Yeah.
So forth and so on, right? So yeah.
Check this out, G. It say according to Dr. Clark, Diop argues that the Nile River was a great vessel in integrating many cultures of people. As a result of the cultural diffusion of Egyptian culture, and the Mediterranean Greek and Roman culture were the byproduct of African culture. Diop argues that the authenticity of Egypt as an African entity by way of the Ethiopians. Dr. Clark writes, the Ethiopians said that Egypt was one of their colonies, which was brought to them by the deity Osiris. Here, Diop offers us an understanding of the Ethiopian influence on Egypt. Diop continues with Herodotus' description of the Egyptians as Ethiopian descendants. Diop explains that Greek writer Herodotus may be mistaken when he reports the customs of people, but one must grant that he was at least capable of recognizing the skin color of the inhabitants of the countries he visited.
They was black. They was what we would call right now today black people.
Call an Ethiopian an Arab, nigga. Do it, nigga. Hurry up. Try to, nigga.
They gonna fuck around and hit you with a roundhouse, you know what I'm saying, and put you on the full Nelson.
What y'all gonna say? Because we know what the Bible say about the Ethiopians. Y'all could try to take Egypt out of Africa. What about Ethiopia, nigga?
Nah, you can't do that. You can't. There's no way you can even argue that point, nigga. You got big, but you can't even argue that point.
East Africa.
Which
they
you
don't,
know,
they don't
modern
like
day is really
you.
what? Nubia, right? If I'm wrong, correct me if I'm wrong.
Say it again.
Ethiopia, what we know as Ethiopia, is really what? Ancient Nubia, right? Am I wrong?
Nah, that's the Sudan.
Oh, okay.
But it's right next to it though.
Mm.
It's right next to it. So when they tell you, oh, we West African, nigga, before we migrated to West Africa, we was in East Africa. So how far you want to go back playing hoopty loop? How far you want to go back playing hoopty loop? How far you want to go back playing jumping jacks, nigga? Before we got to West Africa, we was in East Africa. So how far you want to go back playing this loopy game? We only these people. No, nigga, we migrated. We ain't give a fuck. We went where the food was at. We see animals, we going where them animals was at. All right, let's keep going. The fact that ancient Egypt is a part of ancient African history should no longer be debated with anyone, let alone someone who call themselves scholar. Dr. Clark explains that Diop attempts to make zero claims to African superiority, yet unapologetically excavates the African presence and influence in classical history. Dr. Clark asks if Egypt, after years of invasion by other people and nation, was a distinct black African nation at the time of Herodotus, should we not at least assume that it was more so before these invade? Man, what a bomb at? What a bomb at? What a bomb at? This nigga Dr. Clark say, hey, look, this Dr. Clark wishful thinking, but he ended it off with a dagger. If Dr. Clark asks, if Egypt, after years of invasion by other people and nation, was a distinct black African nation at the time of Herodotus, this when the Greeks came in, y'all, 300, 500 BC. Should we not at least assume that it was more so black before these invasions occurred? Drop the mic. G, just drop the mic.
Drop that pen.
Drop the goddamn mic. How does this not make sense to y'all?
Man, you cooking.
He's saying if the Greeks in 300, 500 BC called them black, why wouldn't they black 2,000 years before that? That's what Dr. Clark is saying. Dr. Clark argues that the refusal of it to acknowledge ancient Egypt as black is a recent white what? Is a recent what? A recent what, G?
It said white phenomenon.
Given that Diop's research identifies white historians who have attested to ancient Egyptian indeed being black and consider themselves African. Gerald Massey,
Mm.
A.H.L. Learn, Count C.F. Volney. Nigga, these are sources, nigga. These is called crackers that say they black. Clark goes on to show that the Europeans' interest in Ethiopia and the origins of civilization is not a recent phenomenon. Man, look, man. Look, man. This is my first time on this show reading by Dr. Ben and Dr. Clark. And these niggas was unapologetically black, unapologetically African. Go in the room with the crackers and flip the tables over. We respect these guys. You know what I'm saying? We definitely hold these guys high. They put the motherfucking work in. The work that you ain't put in, so you ain't even got a voice at this conversation. Gang? Hey, we got this debate tomorrow. Are the Berbers before the Eurasians? Suki D gonna try to get his get back. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna see how that go. President Suki, you better be ready. You better be ready, Suki. You can't go 0-9.
Man, let Suki tell her he undefeated. But yeah, you can't go 0-9 on this one, my boy.
I think it officially be like 0-5, but you can't go 0-5. So.
Yeah, you can't. You know, this one right here. If you lose this one, dog, not this one, bro. This one, this an alley hoop for you. This an alley for you.
Right. Right.
Because if anybody know who the so-called Berbers really were, you can't possibly say the Eurasians came before the Berbers, right? You can't really say that. You know, this is impossible. But he got to show and prove that, you know. And I'm thinking he is. I think he will. I think he will. Man, but shout out to you know, our elder Sheikh and the D.O., Dr. John Henry Clark, Dr. Ben, so on and so forth, bro. Because, you know, right now we wouldn't be able to build off of what they built, right? We building off of what they, you know, we building off the foundation that they laid, bro. So, you know, shout out to them brothers, shout out to the elders, and shout out to the, you know, the people that's building all that and teaching our people, bro, and teaching our youngsters and our brothers and sisters. You know, shout out to you, Wavy. You know, my phone about to go dead, so you know I gotta tap, man. I gotta give you your flowers right here, bro. Shout out to you. Shout out to Sai, man. Shout out to everybody, you know, pushing this information, bro, and still, you know, trying to give our people and let them know, you know, where we came from and who we are, you know. Cause I know one thing, right? Where we live at today, that's our biggest problem is identifying who we really are, right? You know, and so it's powerful what y'all brothers doing, bro. And I you know, I tip my hat off to y'all, you heard me?
Already. Man, we about to get up out of here. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. You know what I'm saying? This is a little bit of Atheist Friday mixed with a little bit of Black Egypt mixed with a little bit of African history and studies. Until next time, me and G.